What's up, everybody, and welcome to Shapes of Gaming, the weekly conversational podcast all about video games that's unedited, unfiltered, and unhinged. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Stinson, Neocharge on PSN, and joining me, as always, my brother in arms for episode number 58, the Retro Gaming Encyclopedia, Bob Harriman, Leon Lionheartley on PSN. What's up, dude?
Leroy Jenkins.
Kind of feels like that kind of week, that kind of day, right?
That's exactly it.
Ugh. Also joining us, you know him, you love him. He's a favorite of the show, and he has all of his games 100%ed on his trophy list. Caleb Schiff, AdmiralMerps on PSN. What's up, dude?
I heard a rumor that they're making the frogs gay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The
It
Ritual
seems you
Network.
listen to the Ritual Network. Not gonna lie, guys,
I got through the first half, and then life took over, and I couldn't hear the second half. So if there was more to the story after in the second half of the cast, then I apologize. But I got that far.
That's amazing. Yeah, episode 57 went a little off the rails. Hey, we do warn people it's unhinged. So, yeah. But this is episode 58. You're on here for State of the Draft, and of course, because we love you, and you're pretty much part of the crew.
Yay!
So, welcome, and happy to have
Thank
you as
you.
always.
Thank you for having me.
What are we drinking,
gentlemen.
fellas? Yeah. What did you bring a beer this fine evening?
Are you talking to me or talking to Bob?
Yes. I'm looking at
I'll go
you.
first.
I don't know if you can see.
I'll go first. This is what I brought based on the news today.
Yeah.
I didn't do a beer. Beer ain't gonna
That checks
cut
out.
it. So for the listeners, it is it's called Whiskey War, and it is it's whiskey. That's not really a surprise. It's pretty good. It is. I don't know what the proof is, though. I probably should know that.
Probably like
It was
40
a
or
gift from
something.
a friend. It's a lot. It's good though. It's got a little bit of a darker, little bit of a bitier flavor for the whiskey lovers in there. It's not peaty or mossy like Scotch tends to do, and bourbon to me is slightly lighter. It's just the taste of it, not the actual feel. But this whiskey is just like basic whiskey. It's just straight whiskey. It's barrel aged. That's it. Like nothing more to it.
You got that with the mic. Yes.
Yeah, you guys do a cast crack. I don't know what to call this, but are you ready?
Cast pop. Yes.
Was that too quiet?
Ooh.
Was it too quiet? Hold on. I don't know if that worked.
No. Came through.
Yeah. There you go. I did it again.
Love that.
And the pour.
Dude.
Ooh, there's the pour.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, and
I like a good bourbon, and I like good whiskey and Scotch.
So to let the listeners know, there's another fun thing. The glass that I poured it in, I think I've talked about this before on the cast. My mom got me a gift of highballs that were Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones inspired.
Oh.
So this one, I have
Targaryen.
the Targaryen with the three-headed dragon because burn it all to the ground. You guys will find out what that means later. But apparently I've become the Mad King and burn them all is all I'm going to say. So anyway.
I would agree with that. Yes.
I'll
Because,
I'll keep the Tyrion side of things. I'll just drink and know things.
Yeah.
How do you want to die, Tyrion Lannister? With a belly full of wine and a mouth around my cock.
Wiser words ever been spoken? Asking for a friend.
I just drink and know things. So, dude, Game of Thrones is classic. Bob, what are you drinking? You got a purple can. You showed me, and I am interested.
Yeah, this is one of the very few non-West Coast IPA or Mexican lagers at my favorite store this week. Don't know why, but this is coming from Hopworks Brewery, which apparently is out of Portland, Oregon. This is a Huckleberry, spelled Beary, cream ale. Yeah, and it's got a little, I assume brown bear, but he's purple, right? Holding a fly fishing reel, and what I can only assume is a bass, but this is basically a blackberry cream ale, and you, my friend, are getting one. And Caleb,
Excellent.
if I saw you anytime soon, I would definitely give you one. I'll pick you up at the airport tomorrow.
Okay.
Yep. Just fly in. We'll trade some beers. Bring some from Ohio.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah. Nice. So whiskey, a little bit of Huckleberry ale. You guys have way cooler drinks than me because I am lacking. I haven't been to the liquor store in a while. Planning on going this weekend for 4th of July if there's going to be any fireworks. I don't know. Colorado's on fucking fire right now. Smells like a campfire outside. It's crazy. But I have the Living the Dream Fly Reel Amber. Just a nice, clean amber ale. It's deep in color and perfectly balanced with Colorado root, shoot, malt, and hops. So,
Wait, did you say a Queen Amber Ale?
No, traditional amber ale.
Oh, I don't know what I heard. I was going to ask you what a Queen
Yas
Amber
Queen.
Ale is. I have no idea.
Yes. But,
and we just lost half the people listening.
It is definitely. We've already lost them. It's fine. Yeah. It is definitely that kind of week.
Oh yeah, you guys! I didn't show you this. It's not that bad on the video.
Oh, you got a boo-boo. What happened?
I got another fucking story. But I will wait. I'll wait till the story.
I was gonna say because we got to do this because I've got a parallel for you.
All right,
okay. Let's dive right in.
Whoa! What happened?
I'm pouring my drink.
Bob, you first.
Whoa! Jeez.
Yours looks.
What happened there?
So about 2 weeks ago, I want to say maybe a week and a half or whatever. My youngest, we went out to the Humane Society to find a cat because theirs had passed away about 6 months ago. So I was like, I think it's about time. Let's go ahead and look. And well, needless to say, we brought him home. He's still learning how to be around the other animals and be in the house and settle. But I went to go help with something, and while I've got 4 other cats at this house, so I know what I'm doing. But unfortunately, this guy startles real easy and all of a sudden flipped out. I got bat claws all around my arms and everything. And the only thing that sucked the most is he got me right down the fucking vertical of my thumb, which is, critical for gaming.
Right.
And also happens to be the thumb that I used to badge in, so to speak.
Oh, no.
Of course
that
it is.
Gnarly looking. How deep is that? For listeners, explain it in detail.
I mean, maybe an 1/8 of an inch deep. Not deep enough to warrant stitches, but deep enough to where I had to have a bandage around it for like 2.5 days straight, from it so it wouldn't start seeping again. Yeah, fucking hurts.
It looks like it hurts.
Cats can be so vicious. I've gotten attacked once, and it was just a stray. I shouldn't have been trying to pet it.
Yeah,
you know what I have to say to that? That is spoiler free, but both of you will understand. Bob was attacked. All I have to say is Mew.
Yeah.
No, so your story is infinitely more manly than mine, by the way. Mine is this is relevant because of the last cast. If you remember, you guys remember what I bitched about in the last cast with Taco Bell, right?
Yeah.
Well, my last cast,
the Great Bean debacle.
Yes. So my lovely wife
continues
a couple days ago.
Chapter 2.
It is chapter 2, but only it's like a spiritual sequel. But you'll hear why in a second.
Hit us.
The wife a couple days ago, she's like, you're doing your thing on Wednesday, right? I said, yeah. She said, what do you want to do? I'm trying to plan out dinner for the week. And, my mom's going to be here on Tuesday. And so we had all this stuff that we were talking about. We decided tonight, and I kind of joked. I said, I was in such a fucking terrible mood when the episode started last week, and I tried not to carry it over. But I listened, I'd listened to the episodes, and I listened to it afterwards, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I was unpleasant to listen to. So I apologize to you guys. I was fucking and I tried not to be, but I was unjoyful. Let's just say that. The story was funny. Like I still stand behind that being hilarious. But throughout the state of the draft and the rest of the episode, I was just like, God, shut the fuck up. You're a dick right now. So apologies to the listeners for that. That was on me.
We had so many write-ins. They're like, why is this dude such a dick?
I bet. What happened? He doesn't like bean chalupas. Anyway, So I called an audible and I said, how about we just like make some dinner here tonight? Like whatever it is, even if it's just like hot dogs and corn, 4th of July week, it's, whatever. She said, that's a great idea. We're going to have all this food. So we made hot dogs and corn and potatoes, whatever. Well, I am not a cook. For the listeners, they would know that about me by now, but I do try to offer to help, whether it's just shucking corn or quite literally getting the hot dogs out of the bag, just little things to make life easier. I sliced my fucking finger about, I don't know, 1.5 centimeters, which, I mean, it's the top third of my finger, my index finger, my left hand.
The trigger finger.
Fucking corn. I was shucking corn, and the fucking the stupid husk just, I mean, it was a blade, and it was the last piece of corn. And naturally, of course, I mean, it immediately soured me because I was just like, God fucking damn it. I just didn't want bean debacle. I didn't want a fucking food story. And it bled like a crazy person. I was worried I needed stitches. It went deep. It went fucking deep. And it hurts a lot. I mean, I was right by the sink at least because it's too hot to shuck corn outside. Otherwise I would be dead right now. So all this blood was going in the sink and I was just squeezing it tight to try to get it to, stay closed because I'd caught it right away. But I have to tell you, it burns and it hurts. It's like a super paper cut. If you've ever had a cardboard paper cut, fuck that noise. Apparently, corn husk cut is the worst possible way to cut yourself other than attacked by vicious cat. Oh yeah, so
it's crazy.
It's been a day, man. It's just been a fucking day. Just stuff.
Have you ever ran through a cornfield?
Yes. I should have thought because I've been cut up doing that before.
Yeah.
I've driven through a cornfield. Yeah. I mean, it's not legal.
On set or just because?
No, because I was a fucking asshole when I was 16. My oldest friend, my longest term friend, he and I are very good friends. He has a tattoo of corn husks on a field because of this incident where he drove his car through a cornfield.
Oh my gosh.
Shouldn't do that ever, by the way. Don't be like me. However,
corn is vicious, dude.
Cool story. Like his car was fucked. He was finding pieces of corn for weeks, and his mom
strong.
His mom was.
Dude, stocks are,
she was just on it all the time, so she'd like leave their place and she'd look at the Corsica. It was a Corsica. And she would just, God damn it, Kyle, what are you doing this time? And you're just like, I don't know. But it's very clear that we drove through a cornfield because there's just shit sticking out of it. Yeah, anyway.
Damn.
So I guess the corn finally got back at me. Got the last laugh. It ruined my left index finger.
You're getting cat attacks and corn attacks. I don't recall being attacked by anything this week.
Well, then you're not living, man. What are you even doing with your life? Bob and I are living.
I was attacked by a fucking PlayStation this morning. Assaulted, actually.
I think
my senses were fucking assaulted. But yeah, dude, corn is vicious. The Midwest is full of corn. I'm from a super small town in the Midwest. We actually met in Ohio, Caleb. And dude, there's more cornfields than fucking people in the Midwest. And
so you know that I'm not full of shit when I say I drove through cornfields because we had them up in the Northwest as well.
Yeah. Everyone was always into cow tipping too. I never got that. I'd never tipped a cow once. And are you guys familiar with cow tipping? It's so dumb.
It's very stupid. But
and for our listeners, cows sleep standing up, and like people think it's fun to just run straight at them and just barrel into them, and then they just tip over like.
I will say the only that's the thing. I have a problem with it because I do like animals. However, objectively, the sound that the cows make is hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. It's just mean and unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know. We used to ran wrap dildos to mailboxes, and we'd put them up like a flag, like they had mail outgoing or whatever. We were engineers, man. We were doing some awesome shit.
There's nothing else to do in the Midwest, so that's shit you do. You cut yourself with corn, you cow tip, and you put dildos on mailboxes.
Putting them on mailboxes is diabolical, but I'll tell you, Caleb, when you're going through the training in the U.S. Military service, it's just a rite of passage. You have to open all your packages because they got to make sure there's no contraband. When you finally get the opportunity to go online, you go and you find a big 12-inch purple dong and you send it to your buddy via care package.
Yep. I have to say that is the correct course of action. So congratulations 100%. To you who have done such a thing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, that's a different more... don't ask, don't tell, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't believe you're allowed to ask me that, sir.
Those dragon dildos. You ever seen those? I was curious one day.
You're curious every day.
I am curious every day, but not about dragon dildos. More about life itself.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
He's an expert on dragon dildos now, so you don't have to be curious.
That's true.
He owns like 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
I have it on good authority.
Yeah. I call one toothless.
I'd call mine Bahamut. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah. One's Zero, one's Neo. Yeah.
One's Falcor.
Right. What do you think they're going to call Bahamut in Revelation? Because we got Bahamut, Neo Bahamut, and Bahamut Zero, right? Then we got Bahamut Risen, Bahamut Rose.
We're going to call him Bahamut Digital Only. And then I'm going to jump off a bridge.
It's not hitting then. It's hitting after, so thankfully we're going to get Revelation physical. Yeah,
I don't know, Rockstar. Anyway, I don't know what they're going to call it. Maybe
Bahamut Complete,
Bahamut Reborn. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Bahamut Resolve.
Remnant? It could be Remnant or something.
I like that.
That'd be a cool name if it had anything to do with. That'd be more like Geostigma shit, but whatever.
Right.
That's
That's
not spoiler territory, but it's like who knows territory. No. Maybe it'll just be
this is
Bahamut.
This is a gaming podcast. We talk about cats and corn and dildos. Primarily, we talk about gaming, and we have a community, and we have a Discord. We have social media sites out there somewhere. I don't know, but we have a cool community. We talk about games. We have channels for it. We have the Fantasy Draft channel. And we've gotten some new members. So welcome, those of you that are new to this crazy fucking circus we call Shapes of Gaming. We're always evolving. And if you want to be part of the community, it's really cool. We have a lot of cool people here. And Bob, Caleb, where can people find us?
Shapesofgaming.com, my man. Where you can find all of your dirty little links. All of them are aggregated on that website, including the Discord. I learned last time because I wasn't sure. I joined it before it was shapesofgaming.com. So la-di-da.
Yes, you are green because we our founders that we. If you see people in the Discord and they're green, their name is green. That is because they joined the Discord before episode 1, and no one will ever be green again. That is locked, and we appreciate our first-time fans, our founders, if you will.
Green founders, yeah.
Yeah, the green founders.
That's great. But yeah,
it's triangle green, by the way.
Triangle. Oh, right. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Does that hurt a little bit right now that it's triangle? Just a little bit.
Yeah, it literally hurt when I got the tattoo on my fucking arm.
Actually, this is going to hurt even more.
Please don't.
You could take it away at any time, even after we earned it. You could just decide you're not this anymore. And does that hit close to home? You want to be a true PlayStation controller. Maybe you should just do that one day and take away our fucking color.
It's sacred.
It's sacred, those motherfuckers. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yes, a Discord and shapesofgaming.com.
Yeah.
We have
it's great.
there.
It's a great website. You should check it out.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not really even a website. It's a fucking redirect to a link tree.
Oh yeah. But still.
Yeah. It's just hey, we like simplifying things. And yeah, the link tree, it takes you there. You have the link to YouTube, you have the link to the podcast. You can listen to us on any app. We have reviews now. We got 2 reviews, 5.0, 5 stars, perfect reviews. We're a
Both of them?
perfect podcast right now. Yeah.
Thanks,
Did you guys
Bob.
get drunk? Did you guys get drunk and review Types of Gaming? Is that what
did.
happened?
Yeah, it was Bob and I. I don't think if you're the owner, I don't think you can review
probably
it if you're
not.
signed in. Yeah. So, but whoever reviewed us and gave us 5 stars, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And
Yeah, that's great.
We
That's
love
awesome.
you. Yeah.
Was there anything written, or is it just the numbers? I don't know.
We just got 2 5-star reviews, no actual written reviews. If you love the cast or you have some constructive feedback, reach out to us on Discord. We'll have a conversation about that because we're all about conversations. But if you want to review the cast, you can on any podcast app of your choice. I think these particular ones were in the Apple podcast. I haven't really looked at the Spotify one, but we have a lot of stats and analytics.
Give me a sec. I'll look. I'll look.
A live look.
Because I use
Excellent. But if you want to leave us a review, a like, and subscribe, it's all free. We're not asking for any money. We're just asking for your time, the most important resource in your life. We would appreciate it. And that helps us reach more people, which then grows the community. It's kind of a win-win. So go do that or don't. We really don't give a fuck.
Hey,
do what you want. I'm not your father.
There are 6 Spotify reviews, and they're all 5 stars. Here, hold up. I can't make it bigger, but can you see right?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Any written ones?
I don't know, because when I tap on it, it just shows up. It doesn't actually say anything else. But
look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Look at us.
Actually, no, it says Caleb should quit. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. I have to follow the reviews.
Yeah. It's been fun. I'll see you later.
Damn, that's a sick burn. All because of... And then also said, I am the person that orders bean chalupas at Taco Bell. Go fuck yourself. 5 stars.
Offended by that story.
I'm offended by your existence. And you know what? That's your right. Good for you. Be offended.
Exactly. Whoever's leaving the reviews, all of you, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We like to be real on this podcast. It is truly unedited, and it is definitely unfiltered and 100% unhinged. So we kind of just shoot from the hip. We drink, we talk about video games, but you get us raw in your ears, okay? Unfiltered. So, yeah. Thank you so much. And if you're part of the community, thank you. If you aren't part of the community, go to shapesofgaming.com. Check us out. Leave us a review. Do all the things. Let's get into the state of draft. What do you say, Caleb?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we have a draft that you can also see on Discord in Fantasy Critic, the channel, and you can follow along. And Caleb's going to tell you all about what the draft is real quick and the current standings because it's that time of month. It's July 1st. We're recording on July 1st. This goes live July 3rd. So, Caleb, take it away.
State of the draft. All right. So, what is the draft and why do we do it? Well, some of us ask ourselves that more and more every day based on reviewers and the bullshit they've been pulling this year. However,
and do we care about it?
Do we care? Well, hey, I'll stand by this. I was an asshole last time, but I do stand by the fact that things have just gotten so fucking weird. And with the news we're going to talk about later, it makes it even harder to get excited about something. But
yeah,
for now, we can get excited about stuff. The long and short of it is games come out throughout the year, or they get delayed, or they get canceled, or whatever. But much like those people who play those Yahoo real sports nerds that play fantasy football draft or fantasy, March Madness drafts, or even the World Cup is going on right now for soccer. People gamble on shit all the time. Our form of gambling doesn't require real money, at least not yet. But what we do, we draft games as they're slated to come out, or even aren't slated to come out. You might be able to take a gamble and say, I think this is going to come out later this year. And essentially they get scored by reviewers. Maybe, if you're lucky, this year reviewers just stopped doing their jobs. So who fucking knows what gets scores anymore. But once the scores are applied, we use Open Critic for the fantasy critic.games. Open Critic scores essentially give us points for the games that we all have drafted. So each of us this year got a total of 15 games. We drafted the first half, the beginning of the year, and then we get bid money, fake money, $100 a person. to bid on games as announcements and as things update and change throughout the year to fill out the rest of your draft. And the person who has the most points at the end of the year wins. What do we win? Well, last year, yours truly was winning and won and ended up with I don't remember if I said it on the draft or on the cast, but they asked me how I felt, and I said, "I'm king of all the lands. Bring me your finest meats and cheeses," and that's
So we did.
exactly what they did. They brought me some
For
fine
MagFest.
meats and cheeses and a little crown and scepter, which was very nice gesture. And I'm looking at it right over there. I don't want to wear it right now because the way today's
Excellent.
going, I would break the fucking thing, and I'd be real mad about that. So.
Yep.
But that's long and short of what the draft is. How does it work? Well, anything that's scored above a 70 on Open Critic gets positive points. Up to the first 20 points. So if a game gets between a 71 and a 90, that would get 20 points. The 90 would be 20 points. 88 would be 18 points. You can do the math from there. Anything 91 and above is worth double for the 1 and above. So 91 would be worth 22. 92 would be 24, all the way up to a perfect 100, which would be 40 points per game as a potential. Anything that is below 70 is negative points. And I'll be honest, I don't remember the cutoff because most of the time we don't bid on games that drop below 60. I mean, not everyone's going to be a winner, but most of us don't make egregious mistakes like that. Like nobody bid on Mind's Eye when it came out. But I do know, I think 60 might be the lowest. I think you can get minus 10. I don't know that you can get minus 11 for 59. I'm not sure, but I've never seen it.
Oh, you can. I've seen foam stars get scored.
And I thought foam stars was a 60, wasn't it?
Just, I forget. Or it was Concord or something. Someone had like negative 12.
Holy shit. But,
Yeah.
well, are you sure that wasn't a counter pick?
I'm sure, yeah. I can look.
Well, yeah, so whatever, but anything below 70 is negative. But there is a max. If you get a game that gets a 3, you're not getting minus 67 points. And I did not pick that number on purpose, even though now I'm glad that I said that. So, Matt, minus how many points? Anyway, so that's how the draft works.
Correlate it.
That's how
much I don't care about it.
I didn't see it either until I said it. But, so we're going to talk about the games that came out over this last month and maybe some score updates and the like. So I'm just going to start from the bottom, make it easier. Mason, whose draft league name is This is an Xbox and Why It Sucks, which I giggle at every time I see it. He didn't have any games release this last month. However, happy news for some of us that have been bitching about it. Our illustrious league manager, Matt Neocharge himself, finally input some of those scores for the games that were either questionable or didn't have enough reviews, even though there were reviews for it. And it was something we had agreed on in the beginning of the year, which is kind of annoying for him. So we're probably not going to deal with this bullshit next year. But the way that it worked this year, that was how it was discussed and what we all agreed on. So Mason finally got his Ghost of Yote Legends scored, which was sitting with the reviews available at an 83. So Mason ended up getting 13 points for that, which, points are better than no points. So good. I'm glad that that's sort of over with, and we'll check it again at the end of the year, but I don't think it's going to change. I bet you are. But that was it for Mason. And then next up here, we have Bobo, who did not have any games release this month in June. We did talk about Mina the Hollower, which was at the end of May. I believe we talked about that on the last cast, but that's the most recent thing that he had. The only real update for his is, again, scores were added manually, and one of the situations with me, Solasta 2, that was supposed to come out. We knew it was coming out next March, but we had the whole early access thing. I'm not going to go into that shit again. But because it's not coming out and it would not have been fair to Bob, I was not upset about it. It's just scored a 0. So he gets a good counter pick. He doesn't get any points for it, but he doesn't lose any points for it, and I don't gain any points for it. So it still is a net benefit for him, and not complaining about it at all. A net loss for me, because that's just if I'm going to get a counter pick picked against me, I would have been happier for Bob had it been delayed, but it was just a stupid bad luck all around. But good on him for picking the right thing. So That was a 0. So he didn't gain or lose anything. That's really his only draft update for this last month. And then we come up to Matt, who had 2, potentially 3. We'll talk about the third one in a second. Great picks. I'm not going to lie to you. The Star Fox one, I was a little disappointed for you in the score.
Me too.
I thought it would score a little higher, just
Me
because Star Fox is such a good game. Like the original on 64 was so good. I don't know.
The
if
remake's
people
awesome.
were
I played it.
afraid of the fluffy character models. I really don't know. Again, it's one of those where reviewers just assholes. We have found out this year that a lot of reviewers are just all over the place and they're inconsistent, and that's what bothers me the most. I can take a game that I draft getting scored poorly if it deserves it. It's when it doesn't deserve it that it bothers me more, and that bothers me for my competitors too. We talked about it before. I thought Neo was underscored. I thought a lot of things this year were underscored, and I have not actually played the final version of Star Fox for the Switch 2. However, I did play the demo. The demo rocked. I thought that game was going to be more like an 85 or an 86 at lowest.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
and it's still good though. It's still at an 83, which is good. And you were able to pick it up when it was a rumor. So I mean, it cost you like $16, I think, which wasn't horrible. But I will say, I think it would have gone for more had it been announced. I think more people would have bid higher because Star Fox. I mean, I would have thrown more money. I think I threw like $5 at it because the rumor mill. I don't like following the rumor stuff.
Never know.
That's just me.
Risky.
I will do it, but I just So
I like taking risks.
So it was a little bit of a bummer that Matt only got 13 points for that, but it's above an 80, so it's great. The next game that Matt also got to release that I'll just tell you this, the spoiler-free version, the 3 of us have had a great time. We all finished it, was 100%. The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. And that came out, I believe, June 18th through the 18th and 19th. So just a couple weeks ago. And that game scored an 82, which got him 12 points. I will tell you, I mean, not that you're not here for my opinion on these games, but I do think that's lower than it deserves. We can talk about it later. There's some issues, whatever. Game's still awesome though. It's an awesome fucking game. I at least it was above an 80. If it was going to drop below an 80, that would be criminal. That would be actual.
I'm not mad at anything that hits above an 80. So any double-digit points, I'm cool with.
For sure, but that game was good. So it's just like,
I think it's underscored as well.
It was a sleeper hit. Sleeper to the masses. I mean, we all bought it. We were all there day one because we knew that we were going to love it. Yeah. But anyway, so that's those are Matt's drops this month. So netted him 25 points total. And this one I'm going to talk about because it doesn't come out till tomorrow, technically. So we could talk about it on the next State of the Draft. However, it's already gotten a score. It hasn't applied yet to his point value, but Rhythm Heaven Groove, which is a pretty big hit. It seems it's sitting at an 84 right now, which is great. So the good news is the other Rhythm Heaven games, they've scored fine. I thought this game, just based on the trailer alone, I was like, it should be like an 81. So you got a few bonus points for where the games that didn't do as well. So it kind of evens out. An 84 is nothing to sneeze at. That's great. Good for you on that one. That didn't cost you that much. So excellent.
I'm happy with it.
Now, updating for me, yours truly. Oh, I forgot to say the other league names. I'm sorry. Let me just go back for a second. So Bob's league is Super Earth Embassy, and Matt's league is Final Nova. So mine, which is I just want to make donuts because I'm an adult. As I said earlier.
Where is that from? Is that from a specific thing?
It is from a story. It is a story that this cast episode does not have time for, but it's great. It was a high school story. If you ask me next time, I will be able to tell you. But it's a good one because it's fucking stupid, but it's great. But anyway, so Matt had added the points manually for some of the things, and my Slay the Spire 2 was, as we agreed upon, the aggregate score based on the few reviews that did come out. It actually did pretty well. It was a 91. The scores, funnily enough, it was a 93.5, and then 2 of those reviews are just scrubbed from the internet. It's not worth fighting over. Like, fuck it. The fact that it's getting scored at all because of a dumb misunderstanding that was nobody's fault. It was nobody's fault. This is great. So 91, I got 22 points for that. Yay. The Solasta, as I told you about, 0 points because of that. It's not coming out and there's no reviews. Whatever, fine. Now the other one that came out, because we were going to talk about the bids that went through, but because this was a game that I bid on and it came through, but reviewers aren't doing their jobs. Deltarune Chapter 5 has not gotten fucking reviews, which is crazy because Deltarune's chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 did. I don't know if people just quit writing review. I don't know what's going on, but it's out. And the only review that I've been able to find about it that is scored, because that's the thing, there are a few reviews, but they just are unscored and they're not on OpenCritic, at least as of yesterday. I didn't say. They sounded like they were good reviews, but who fucking knows? Because they didn't score them. Whatever.
Am I gonna have to manually score another one?
I don't know. Well, what happens when there are no reviews on OpenCritic, but the only reviews we have are elsewhere? I don't really know what to do. And luckily for you, I really don't care that much. And I'm not trying to be negative again, but I'm telling you, like, I'm more upset that it's just like the bare minimum that these guys have to do. Like, it was bad enough when they're under reviewing, underscoring things, or overscoring shit that's just like, what? But when they're just not reviewing, like, this is literally your job, and that's how Fantasy Critic works.
Yeah.
So that's annoying to me, but whatever. It's fine.
We'll see how it
For what
shakes
it's
out.
worth, for what it's worth, Chapter 5's fun. It's good. So, like, whatever. That's what makes me happy, is when we can all play the games that come out, and
That's
have
what
a good
it's
time.
all about.
That is where I feel like we win. So no score for me there for Deltarune Chapter 5. It's still sitting at question marks. So whatever. And last but not least, Burrito Supreme, your grandpa's favorite Gooner gotcha game himself, had Dave the Diver in the Jungle that came out, which was a banger. That came out either the same day or the day before Elliot. And that is sitting at a 92.5. So he got 25 points for that, which was fantastic. For those of you that listened to our draft episode, I almost drafted that and then waited one turn because Bo was right after me and he picked it up and I was like, motherfucker. And then when it got scored, I was like, oh, damn, I made a mistake. That's okay. Again, I don't really care. That's fine. I'm so glad that Dave the Diver 2, or Dave the Diver's Into the Jungle, did well. That's awesome. It's so good. I have not played that yet. Have either of you played the expansion to Dave the Diver?
No,
I was curious
waiting for
if you
Doom.
thought it worth it. Yeah, well, totally. I didn't know if you guys
I've
thought
been
it was
balls
worth the
deep in
score.
Elliot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got a lot to talk about there. But that brings us to the pickups throughout this past. I mean, it was Summer Game Fest, so there were a lot of things, a lot of action. Mason didn't have any money, so he didn't get anything, and I don't know whether he would have bid anyway. I mean, he's got a pretty set roster here, so I think he bid on something, but he knew with like $4 it wasn't going to happen. Let me just go instead of by person, because since Mason didn't do it, like I can just skip him. But let's go back to let's do June 6th. So because Summer Game Fest was technically started, I will say, with Sony's State of Play on which I believe is June 2nd. I'm counting that as starting. Summer Game Fest proper, the main showcase there, was Friday night, my birthday. Great show. You guys talked about it, in great detail. You talked about all that, and it was great. But the Xbox showcase and the Nintendo showcase hadn't happened yet. All right, so we're just dealing with State of Play, the Summer Game Fest proper, and then a few of the announcements, if they were relevant, Saturday with the smaller little guys. And there were a handful, but most of them were repeats. So with that knowledge in hand, Bob and I both bid on Star Wars Galactic Racer. Bob bid $5. I only bid $1 because I was trying to fill out empty gaps. I mean, I do believe in the game. I think Bob got I think that game's going to be awesome.
I think it's going to do great.
And we've learned more since then that it's a little bit of a roguelike, which is awesome. Awesome idea for a racer. And I can tell you, for you Star Wars nerds, this is technically a sequel to Return of the Jedi. It's the first one that is officially like after Return of the Jedi, but before Episode 7, before The Force Awakens. Now, The Mandalorian takes place there too, but The Mandalorian's like an offshoot side story situation. Not that this isn't, but this is going to be dealing with the fallout from. I mean, I'm gonna spoil Star Wars, guys. I'm sorry. I'm
Order
gonna spoil the original trilogy. The fall of the Empire and the potential rise of New Order and stuff. So it's a cool idea for Star Wars lore fans. But the game itself also looks like it could be pretty damn fun.
Whoa. This is actually canon, truly sequel?
Well, as far as we know, yes. I don't know that like Disney themselves, Lucasfilm and Disney have not come out and said, this is an official sequel. But it takes place following those events directly that we've never seen
blow up
before.
of second Death Star.
Oh, gotcha.
We've seen indirect stuff. You know, like the Mandalorian would be the outside, the outer rim and such that how are people recovering? Well, the bounty hunters didn't really get affected that much, except Boba Fett. They were like, he died or whatever.
Oh.
But this is like, oh, the Emperor dead. Things happened. Let's go. So that's kind of
okay.
cool.
All right.
I'm a Star Wars
the game looks good, but when you say that, I'm worried now Kathleen Kennedy's just going to pull down her pants and take a big shit on this project, and it's going to end up crap.
Yeah, I mean, say what you will about the Mandalorian and Grogu. Dave Filoni knows how to tell stories. I personally, I didn't like the Mandalorian and Grogu as much as other Star Wars films. However,
I'm gonna watch
some of the best episodes of anything Star Wars have been written and created by that man. Whether it's Star Wars Rebels,
Mandalorian season 1 was peak.
Some of the Clone Wars stuff, and even the Bad Batch is actually very good. So I do trust Dave Filoni to right the ship a little bit, even if Mandalorian and Grogu was like a very safe movie. This is not a podcast talking about that or Star Wars. I apologize, but just get excited. I think Star Wars Galactic Racer is going to be pretty fun and pretty good. So good on you for that.
Awesome.
It does. He ended up dropping Dragon Quest 12 Beyond Dreams because fuck ass Chad. But also Chad. It's not coming out this year. So
no, it's not coming out next year or the year after that. Or
it's never released.
30.
Hey, fun fact, it's probably not coming out physically ever. Yeah. The collector's edition for Caleb. The good news is I'm about to save a shitload of money when I am just a useless person after this takes effect. But the next bids that Saturday were, I did another one. I did Star Wars Zero Company, also $1. I threw a buck at both of the Star Wars. For those that don't know, Star Wars Zero Company is made by the same people that did XCOM, and it is that kind of turn-based, probably super difficult. I eat that shit up. Do I think the game is going to score well? Not necessarily, but again, I needed to fill out my roster. I thought it looked good enough. I think the XCOM, the creators that do XCOM make awesome games. So there's a chance that thing will slap real fucking hard. I think if anything holds it back, it'll be the Star Wars IP. They might not be able to do the cool shit that they want to do because Disney would be like, you can't behead people with lightsabers. And I feel like you need that in an XCOM type game with Star Wars. So whatever, I'm not going to be upset however it does. It looks like it's going to be fun enough, whatever.
Gotcha.
The next bid, it was your grandpa's favorite Gunnar Gotcha game. Bo Rita Supreme got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. He also bid $1. Whatever. I mean, it's Call of Duty. It could be great. It could be terrible. I do think the Modern Warfare series is better than the standalone series.
It's probably going to hit. It was a good pickup.
I've only played the original 1 and 2, Modern Warfare 1 and 2, and then the remake of 1 was given to me as a Christmas present. So I did play it because I was like, it's free. And they're good. They're good games if you like that sort of thing. I don't care enough about Modern Warfare or Call of Duty to continue. Again, I hope it does well for Bo. I hope it does well for the gaming industry. That's all I care about. So good pickup, especially for $1. I think you're going to be fine. Then, and this is where I feel like Bob wants to just let loose. We'll get there in a moment. Next week, we had the Xbox showcase on Sunday. We had the Nintendo Direct. Now, you already heard these gentlemen talk about these games in great detail, so we can skip over all of that. But for those of you that have listened to me long enough on this cast, you know that I am a huge Final Fantasy fan, huge Square Enix fan, and I mean, basically like a borderline simp for this shit. So I had one of the best summer game fests ever between Final Fantasy VII Revelation and Final Fantasy Resonance. I just like, yes, please. And the, just all the things were great. It was really good. And then the other games that I care about, but so June 13th was that Saturday following the Xbox and the Nintendo showcase. First and foremost, I just have to say these guys underestimated me. That's fine.
No.
That's the long-term game plan for Caleb. No, there were plenty of things worth bidding on. Absolutely plenty of things worth bidding on. And
we knew you were going to get this one.
It was more
a tiny amount. I had to put my hat in the ring. I knew
of course. Well, yeah, why wouldn't you, right? But one of the things that people who listened to this last year and know that last year, I had a lot of money left over at the end of the year as well. And so they had picked on me for like, how the fuck did this guy keep like $58, whatever? Well, I don't remember the exact number, but whatever. And so I had more money than anybody else. So I was like, I could just bid like $85 and get it. And I'll be honest with you both, I thought about it. Just being like, fuck it, let's go. Let me just get the one that I want the most. and because I really don't care. I want that game on my roster. Even if it fucking flops, I want it on my roster.
Right.
No, that's not, that doesn't mean I would do that for everything. But I know things about Final Fantasy Resonance from the gacha game. I was very excited anyway. But so Bo,
you had to get it.
And Bob they were my best competition as far as finances were concerned. They could bid high, basically, right? Hey, I mean, you got your Star Fox, you got your Zelda. Like, I wouldn't be upset about that. But there was a lot of mental math that Caleb decided to do. And I will, not to toot my own horn, I was very proud. I feel like I've won just off the bidding. I don't give a fuck if all my games get a 0. I don't give a shit. I was just so happy that I outbid them in the most like appropriate way ever. And I know that stung. It had to sting. Maybe not for Bo as much, but I know for Bob it did, because Bob is also a huge fan of the HD 2D engine. He loves the Octopath games. He and I will talk about them ad nauseum if we could. We don't, because we want you guys to be able to go to sleep. But we love them a lot. So I knew that Bob was going to be all up on this too, because also it looked good. It looks so fucking good. So why wouldn't you bid? It does. But anyway, so to tell you, I'm telling you all this because I'm going to tell you multiple things of information at once. Bob and I all bid on Deltarune Chapter 5. I'm not going to tell you what the bids were yet, and I'm not going to tell you who won, even though you can probably guess, until after I tell you this next part. Because it was really like just the icing on the cake for anger management. Bob, Bo, and I all also bid on Final Fantasy Resonance. Matt did too, and I'm not discounting it, but Matt couldn't beat us. Like, he didn't bid a lot. So not that you're not part of the story, but it is way funnier because Bo and Bob both tied bid $40 for Final Fantasy Resonance, which is huge. Again, we have $100 for the whole year, so 40 is a big bid. It's not the biggest bid because Mason is in the draft, so that dude just spends like there's no tomorrow. And I really hope for his sake that Canna drops this year. I really do. I mean, it sucks for the timing because there's a million games, but he spent a lot on that game and he deserves to get some fucking points for it. But
yes,
anyway. I'm going to be honest with you right now. When I was doing this mental math, I thought for sure, and I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but I don't care because it's whatever. I thought for sure Bob was going to bid 42 because Bob's a Hitchhiker's Guide fan, and 42, I could see him being like, that's a magic number. That'll win me this. And I could see Bo outthinking him and bidding 43. Which is why yours truly came in at 44 because I was just like, I don't want to lose all my money. So those two both bid 40 and I got it with 44, which was pretty great for me because I mean, it was close enough where I thought about bidding like 56 because like that would beat Bob no matter what, but it wouldn't beat Bo. You know, there was a lot of that going on in my head. And I thought, I was Charlie in the GIF. I really was. I was like calculating this shit.
That's amazing.
But
you don't care.
I don't care about winning or losing.
Just fucking
I don't. I mean, I don't. I care about the fucking games, man. That's what we should all care about. Unfortunately, we care too much sometimes. But anyway, then the icing on the cake, it really was, because I was like, I almost bid $1 on Deltarune the previous week, and I was like, I don't want it to be announced and then say like March, and then immediately have a drop taken away. I don't know. I didn't expect it to be dropping as soon as it did, so I was like, fuck, I'm gonna bid on that. I was like, I bet other people are gonna bid on this too.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bid in for $12 for the first day, and I was like, that's not enough. Everybody's probably gonna go 15. I'm gonna do 16. Well, I am happy to report that very, very similarly, and I didn't think about this as much as I did for Final Fantasy Resonance, but Bob had a bid on Deltarune for $15. Bo had a bid on Deltarune for $15, and I had a bid on for 16 and won that one as well. And both of them hated me for it, and they're justified in hating me for it. Except now they probably are happy they didn't, because there's no fucking review scores, even though the game came out last week or week and a half, whatever it happens. But that's why I say I was quite proud of the bids that week. It was nuts. And then the other things that happened, Matt ended up bidding on the Rhythm Heaven Groove that we talked about earlier. He paid 11 for it.
Yes, sir.
Right now, 84, so it'll be 14 points if that holds, which tomorrow I believe is the official release date. So that's great for $11. Absolutely, yes, please. And then Bo ended up doing two other bids. He bid on Densha Attack again, which he'd had it originally. I believe he had it, not somebody else, and then ended up dropping it. We think the game looks good, right? I think it looks good, but
Yeah.
he ended up.
Bo was playing the demo over here when he brought his Switch over, and we were playing Star Fox. It looks crazy good. It's like Tony Hawk with trains.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. It really does.
It's crazy.
It's great.
It looks real addictive.
He was able to get it back, but he had to drop Blighted. But he only paid $1 to get Densha Attack back, so no real big loss him dropping it before. And then he bid on Valor Mortis. He bid $5, and he ended up getting that, which I believe, Bob, I think you had Valor Mortis originally, right?
Yeah, I think that was in my actual original draft lineup.
Yeah, I do think that was like your 5th or 6th draft pick, if memory serves. But you have a great draft, so I wouldn't be upset about the Valor Mortis thing. And then the other thing that Bo had to do, which I know made his direct competitor Bob pretty happy about, he had to drop Persona 4 Revival, and he had to drop Tomb Raider because they were both at the earliest next year. So those were 2 of his 3 super drops that he had to use, which I believe was his final one, right? He doesn't have any more, I believe.
Correct. He is out.
Yep.
So if any of his other games, he has to be very careful on his draft is basically the point. Because if any of them get delayed, I mean, you can't do anything with them. So whatever. Right. But his is pretty settled too, and he's got a fair amount of cash, so I think he'll be fine. The last few things, and these will go a lot quicker. The following week, the week of June 20th, Bob ended up picking up some fucking bullshit again, because I don't understand this.
I was pissed off about the Final Fantasy Deltarune situation.
Yeah, that was a jaded pickup.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just, I mean, I'm glad you got it. Great, good for you. But it's like, how is that? It should be a re-release. I just don't understand it. But that's just me.
It's bullshit.
So It's
talk about the rules next year.
But he ended up bidding $7 on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Do you guys remember when that game came out? Yeah, me too. Years ago. It's the same fucking game. However, counterpoint, I'm really excited because it looks good. Bob's playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1's new edition, and I love Xenoblade as well. Super thrilled that they're getting released. I love that these are coming out. Again, that's what makes me happy. But objectively, the fact that you could even bid on this is fucking trash. So whatever. You had to drop Hollow Knight, Silk Song's DLC, Sea of Sorrow, because we both know that's coming out in 2035. If it comes out at all.
On physical.
The next, on physical only, but it won't be for any consoles. They'll just release it on vinyl, and nobody can play it. So the other bid that Bob got was $3. He had to drop Clockwork Revolution because that got pushed. And he ended up picking up Dragon Quest Monsters: The Withered World. Then Bo ended up bidding $6 on End of Abyss, which I think that comes out in October. Yeah,
So
it's
this actually
scary.
looks really cool. Bo
It does
was
look cool.
literally showing me it. It's made by some of the developers of Little Nightmares, and Bo was showing me it, and I was like, "Oh!" And he was like, "And guess what? It's a Metroidvania." And I was like, "Buy!" And I literally bought it. It's co-op, and Bo and I are going to be playing it. So
That's cool.
yeah,
So in
it's
October, whenever it comes
didn't
out,
even
good
know
for you.
about it. Yeah, so
It
looks
does. It
cool.
looks good. I'll be honest too. When he bid on it, I said, "What the fuck is this?" And I looked it up
Right.
afterwards. Like, oh, this looks like it could be pretty good. So
Yeah,
good
like
for
an
him on picking that
isometric
up.
survival horror shooter.
Yeah. And then the other thing that he ended up bidding and winning was Planet Zoo 2. He bid $2 on it. He did have to drop Enter the Gungeon 2, which was one of his original drafts. So I bet that bothered him. But the fact we haven't heard a fucking thing about it, I mean, there's always a chance that it comes out.
Say bet.
He
Yeah.
and Bob have money though, so they can, they might be able to bid on it if they chose to. I don't know that Bob needs to bid on anything else based on his draft. If I'm being
He's
honest,
sitting pretty.
I don't think he
Yeah.
does. So whatever. And then the last thing, which just happened a couple days ago, Bob ended up for $3. He bid on EA Sports College Football 27, which wet fart noise. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's gonna be great. Yes.
Oh wait, that's baseball.
That's baseball,
It's
but I
basketball,
wasn't going to
isn't
say
it?
anything.
Football.
But he ended up dropping
What are
Dragon
the
Quest
balls?
Monsters: The Withered World. So
Yep.
that was. I did want to ask you, what were you just not feeling it? Was it coming out too late? Like what? Or did you just think the college football would be better?
So DQ Monsters is an amazing series. It's a Matt ass game, right? Like if I had to say,
yeah, Matt would like it more than us, I think.
But traditionally, the Dragon Quest monsters are kind of like the weaker of the series, and they don't score as well. But then, if you look at the scores and I was just digging through the database, seeing what was there, and then I dawned on me: EA Sports College Football. I'm not going to play it, but people are, and they're going to review it. And the last couple have been mid 80s. I think the highest one got to 85 or something. Yeah,
I think it was like 84 2 years ago, and then an 86 or an 87 even. It was 86, I think, last year. So I think you're going to be fine.
Yep. It was this is probably going to, I feel dirty because it's a sports game, but
Hey, sports games, they have their place. I respect sports games. And the fact that college football came back swinging, that's awesome. So good for you. I was actually more surprised because I would think that would come out in like August. and when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's a little later than I expected, but whatever. It says, or a little earlier, excuse me, July. So it's coming up real soon here. But I thought that those usually came later in the year, and it's a prime time to get them though, because it gets people hyped for college football before college football is on, so they can play college football and then they can watch college football a few months later. Not that anybody cares about that, but yeah, it'll be good. So the last little bit of information, I'm just going to go through the updated scores. And again, these scores will not include my Deltarune Chapter 5, nor will they include Matt's Rhythm Heaven Groove. But these are the current standings right now. Burrito Supreme is currently in 5th place, but he's only had 3 games released. He's got 56.8 points. So for 3 games, it's really, really good. Do not discount the fact that he's in 5th. That is temporary at best. He is projected to be in 2nd place with 167.05 points. And he currently has the highest budget remaining right now of $50. And then in 4th place currently is Mason with 64.47 points. He has 7 games that have released, and I don't think that includes the Ghost of Yote. No, it does. It does, because it wasn't including that before, since it was a manual update. It was just saying it wasn't released. So it does include it now. And we've talked about this before. It's kind of a bummer. He's had a bad year with some bad luck with stuff. So like his God of War didn't score very well. But he's not projected to be in last. He's still projected to be in 4th place with 150.56 points. And he has supposedly 8 games releasing. I know at least half of them are. I don't know. Kana's the big question mark. And I guess the Blood of Dawn Walker and the Dust Bloods, we'll see how they do, but hoping for him. And then he's got $4. Yeah. I'm hoping that the games come out and the games do well for the games. Let's say.
Oh yeah, dude,
In
Kana, very excited.
current third place is Matt with 73.48 points, but he's only had 6 games released, so that's pretty good. And he's projected to score third with 166.82 points, which is just barely below Burrito Supreme. So those two could be
0.17 points projected.
but projected. So
I know, project. Yeah.
it's
I'm coming for you.
It's no, it's 0.23.
Something.
0.23 now. 1.166.82, 167.05. But those fluctuate all the time by micro point values based on current reviews. So it could be because of your game that comes out tomorrow. They might be the projections might change because of that. So but anyway, and then in current second is me with 80.62 points. Only 6 games released, but the Solasta 2 is not coming out this year, and no reviews are coming out this year, so that's why that one is gone. But I'm projected to be in last with 149.23 points, and I'll be honest, I do think that's a little lower just because of things like
projections
Halo.
are hit or miss. They really are.
Projections
They're
are
usually wrong.
But for me, it really just depends on if a few of my games come out. Witchbrook, Order of the Sinking Star, At Fate's End, Eternal Life of Goldman. I took huge risks, huge swings at the beginning during my draft because, and I'd said this then, like I won. I just kind of want to see what games might do great that other people might not bid on. And Witchbrook was one that I kind of saw early and thought, let's take a chance. I'm hopeful, but it's July. Chances of it not of it coming out are a lot lower, a lot slimmer now. I know that.
Right.
I'm not mad about it. Whatever. But so yeah, those are projections for me, and I have $26 budget left. And then in first place, absolutely killing it, is Bob with 115.71 points. Now he does have the most games released, but doesn't matter because his games have scored really, really well. He doesn't have a single negative, which is good. And his lowest scoring games, he's got 2, a 5 and a 6. He's got 76 and 75, but the rest of them have all been double digits, and they've all done really well double digits. So nothing to sneeze at there. And he's projected to be in first with 182.74 points, and he still has a budget of $44 left. So if he decided to drop Marvel Tokon and just tell me and not tell Matt, I would get it for because I made him buying the game. I believed in that game from the beginning. I'm really glad that he was able to draft it. I mean, yeah, I didn't get it. That sucks, but I'm glad somebody did. That game's going to be fucking awesome. So
especially
really
after the last team that got announced.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Great. Yeah, you've got some heavy hitters left on here. Even though you got the bullshit with Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Like those are bullshit. They're bullshit, but they're still good games. So you've done quite well on that. And your other draws are very, very good. So you're sitting pretty. But other than that, just some upcoming releases real quick. Bob ended up getting Doom the Dark Ages. He had bid on that and got that. The DLC comes out next week, and it's going to be great. Matt is very, very excited. We're all very excited for this, but Matt especially because it's on his draft and it's one of his favorite games ever. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced also comes out next week. That's going to be fucking dope. Like I said earlier,
it was a pickup before announcement too.
Yeah, but it was rumored. Like
it wasn't
rumored. Like, but that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's not cheating. It's not cheating, but it's just like, come on. I just think the rumored shit has gotten out of hand, but that's just me. And I'm not saying necessarily for the draft. I mean, in general. I just mean in general. The rumor mill is kind of annoying to me, but most of the time it's bad news. But you should be because it looks great. It's going to do really well.
I'm going to have a pirate
Sports College Football 27 comes out the same day as Black Flag Resynced. So Bob has to buy it. Those are the draft rules. He has to buy it and play it.
Yep. And platinum it. Yep.
And then a week after that is when Dench Attack comes out for Bo. And Bo also picked up Splatoon Raiders, which just got a direct, I believe, Monday. That looks great. Single player Splatoon. I think it's going to be a winner. And then I'm super excited for the game to come out just in general. Galo Campaign Evolved comes out July 28th. And if you were pre-ordered, I think you get it 5 days early. I think it's the 23rd or something like that. So For those of you
We're
that
all
don't
playing it
know,
on regular launch.
that not on the original, or not on the. I don't know if you guys talked about Galo on the cast. The name. If you're not on the internet, you're not seeing.
Oh
People
yeah,
are really upset.
yeah.
Was that on the second half of the cast last week? Maybe
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
I haven't heard it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
yeah,
so.
that's why I called it Galo. It's I'm not picking on the gay community. If anything, I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna if they would let me be a
It
rainbow
makes it
chief,
better.
I'd fucking do it. I'll be a rainbow chief. We have a pride rainbow on our front door. Everybody who comes to our door probably thinks we're a gay bearded couple, which is hilarious. But whatever.
Excellent.
And
We're gonna
then
play it. We're loving it. And we're gonna stream it on
the
Shapes.
last thing at
And
the end of the month is July 30th. Just real quick, July 30th is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Bob's Bullshit. That's the subtitle of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Bob's Bullshit. That comes out.
bullshit.
So July is a really really packed month for releases that not only score well, but ones we're excited for, like genuinely excited for. So anyway, what were you were going to say about us playing it and streaming it?
Oh yeah, no, we're all excited for Halo, Bo included, and we're going to do a 4-person lasso. So legendary all skulls on.
I do want to ask about the logistics here, because do we know if the skulls are in the same place?
Yeah, we don't know. We'll figure it out.
Like, we're gonna have to get all the skulls first to be able to do a lasso run. But I'm looking forward to playing it in general. I mean, just on a personal note, Halo is, I think it's actually my favorite shooter ever. And I'm not big into shooters, I'll admit, but it's actually a tie between, or a toss up between that and the original PC Wolfenstein. I love the original Wolfenstein. I fucking love it. Maybe it's because you kill Nazis in it. I don't know, but I love Wolfenstein. But Halo to me is actually what made, like, they brought really good science fiction, really, really top tier production value, and Bungie is the best when it comes to shooting mechanics. I'm convinced. That's not a slight against Call of Duty people. It's not. It's just a different style. I think Halo is one of the best shooters ever made. So the fact that we're getting it again and it's being upgraded to today's standards and made for 4-player co-op, because the original was just made for 2-player. I really, even if the game doesn't score well, if the game scored a fucking 50, I would be buying it and playing it, and I would love every second of it, because I love Halo so much. So
it looks great.
Cool
I'm super excited.
Even though it's kind of weird. Seeing Master Chief in a blue case is kind of weird. Not a green case. This is weird.
Last time we see it.
Yeah, it is the last time we see it, unfortunately. But I'm glad you guys are getting it. I'm glad that we're gonna enjoy it together. I personally can't wait for Matt to run in front of all of us and just die right away. And then the rest of us will if Neo 3 is anything to go off of, Bob knows, Bo knows. We all know
steps. I was like, check this shit out. I was gonna dodge all the arrows, and I just got brutally murdered. Fucking great. I'm gonna throw a sticky bomb. It's gonna stick to the floor and blow me up. I can't wait.
I'm gonna throw the sticky bomb on you and say, run.
And he's going to say, why'd you do that? And all three of us are going to be in the back. And we're going to say, get the fuck out of the way. But yeah, I'm genuinely looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a good time. So you guys should tune in if you're bored. And if you're not bored, if you want to see us be buffoons in Halo. I'm actually curious if I still got it. I think I talked about this before. I won some Halo tournaments in my day. And I want to know if it's going to feel right. I want to know if those grenades are going to feel good. I want to know if the pistol's going to feel right. Those are very important to me. I trust the team doing it. But at the very least, I get to play with my friends. It's going to be fun. So let's
Twitch.tv/Shapes of Gaming. We're all going to be on there. It's going to be a blast. Drinking some Mountain Dew, eating some pizza. Not while you're gaming. It's going to be pizza either after or before. We don't eat pizza while we game. That's the controllers.
Can't touch the controllers. Though, if Bob doesn't do as well as he thinks he will, we can just blame it on his cat injury, because you never know. Maybe his aiming will be off, or his movement will be off because it's his left thumb.
Yeah,
mine will be. Oh fuck! What was left trigger in the original game? I thought right was grenades, right?
Yeah. Special, like
Oh, it's
Aim.
it's aiming down the sight. Yeah. So if my aim fucking sucks, it'll be because my corn accident just destroyed my left index.
Because of the corn, guys.
It is the fucking corn.
How many assholes do we have in this squad?
Right.
4.
Legendary first-person shooter. My favorite's Destiny, which is a spiritual successor to Halo.
Yeah.
So
And we had a great
Bungie
time.
does. We had a great time on Destiny too. Rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, the reason that I love Destiny so much was because of Halo. I said, I know what these guys can do with science fiction. I can't wait for them to marry fantasy to it. And the only reason that Destiny doesn't take the top slot, because the game was fantastic. What we got, the good stuff we got was great. But when I'm objectively looking at it and thinking, I can't fucking play it now, like the way I can play Halo now by myself if I want, with my friends if I want, it is the complete package. And Destiny being like a service type thing, it just loses a few points there, but phenomenal experience. And real quick before the end of the state of the draft, because I know we want to move on, but I touched on this slightly earlier, and I don't want you guys to comment until I'm done. So just give me a minute. I commented on this in the beginning of the episode where I was listening to myself on the last state of the draft episode where I was like, God damn it, I was a fucking jerk. Just to touch on the draft a little bit and my personal opinions aside and stuff. When I say things like I don't care. I didn't mean that I don't care. It's fun to play with my friends. Okay. But I want to say this on here to make it like publicly known for the listeners. Cause I could see if you're a listener and you listen to that episode, you might think that it's like bad mouthing the draft. And that's not it at all. I wanted to come out and say, it's kind of apologize to you guys too, cause it is your podcast. And after listening to it and thinking to myself, oh, that wasn't handled well, right? My feelings haven't changed. Like I said before, I really do enjoy just the games. The games are the most important part of it to me. And part of when I say I get really fed up with reviewers and stuff with the draft, it's not when games don't score well if they deserve it, or they score too well if they don't deserve it, as much as when a new game is announced, I hate immediately thinking, I wonder what's going to score. And so I tend to sort of bark back a little bit. And a lot of games were just announced or about to be announced in the last episode. So I was a little uncool about it. So I do apologize to listeners, and I apologize to both of you because it, just not cool of me, and I will own that. But I genuinely don't care if I win or lose. I'm glad I won one. I got one. That's all I really care about. And I want you. I mean, if I won again, cool. But if I lose, I'm not going to be a whiny bitch about it. I might be a whiny bitch about Bob Xenoblade bullshit, but that's the different thing. I would pick on him even if I wasn't in the draft. That's just a way that I would be. But so I wanted to put it out there and just make it an official thing on your episode while you guys could hear. What'd you say?
I said, whoa.
Oh, well, but yeah, I mean, because it is
official, recorded.
But it was,
on the record.
It was like, yeah, okay, that was kind of shitty. So I don't mean to badmouth it. If you're excited about watching the draft and you're excited about stuff we talk about on here, that's fucking awesome. I love that. Don't take any negativity that I might have about, I don't care if it scores well, because it's just, I want games to do well. That's it. I just want games to do well. I want the industry to do well. And right now, the last couple of years have been real rough. We've had some awesome fucking games. Like, we're lucky as gamers that we have these games now. But we keep getting saddled with this bullshit news that is just depressing as all fuck. So when I also have this, that didn't get scored, or there's this bummer, it's just like another part of the negative when I want to focus on the positive. I want all these games I would love if everybody's game scored a fucking 100, even if mine didn't. I would love that. I'll get dead last if the games score well and we have fun playing them, because that to me is more important than anything else. But I do know that you guys absolutely, you love the draft. I know, Matt, this means a lot to you. So I wanted to apologize to you directly, because I was just, it could rub people the wrong way. So,
well, thanks, buddy. Anyway. We really appreciate that. And we love you being part of the draft. And consider you like a lifer on the draft. You're not going anywhere, so.
I mean, I don't know. I might not be able to afford it next year.
If there's money, right?
Well, you guys, you don't even know. I've had some house shit. Like, we won't even get into that. But,
yeah.
Oh man, you don't even know. Fucking sucks.
We really appreciate that. Thank you. Not needed. Totally might have been a misunderstanding, but all good. And we love you. We love you on the cast, and we appreciate you doing the State of the Draft. And we are getting down to it. We're halfway through the year, and this is where things start narrowing down. And the later half of the year is pretty exciting, where I mean, things start falling into place. So it's going to be a very exciting.
Unless you're Bob and you basically already have it in the end zone, and that's fine. Like, good for him. He's got a hell of a year.
That's true.
My exciting part is I'm playing. I looked the other day. I don't remember the number now. I think this year I'm playing like somewhere around 80% of all of our drafted games, which is fucking. If you think about that, if there are, what would that be? 15 times 5, just 75 games coming out, and I'm playing like 80% of them, or at least I plan to.
That's crazy.
Some of them won't take as much time. You know, you've got the shorter ones, but that's awesome. We know how to draft games. We know how to pick games. Like, that's really exciting. Even the ones that haven't scored as well, we like them. You know, like Saint Slayer. You guys dug Saint Slayer. Is probably underscored, quite frankly. But that's kind of where I get a little, butthurt about it. It's not towards you guys or the draft itself being what it is. It's just like, come on, man. Come on.
Right.
The fucking guy who keeps reviewing shit like 5s and 6s and he just doesn't know shit about fuck. That guy.
Come on, man.
That's really it. So,
it is,
but that's been the state of the draft, right? That's the state of the draft this week, or this month.
It is a struggle with the draft, just like you said. Like, I don't really care about the number either. I hate an arbitrary number on a piece of art. Art is subjective, and we, stress that here on the cast, and someone can see a game differently. I don't even really like the Game Award voting because I think art is extremely subjective. It's just fun for the announcements and stuff, but that is something I struggle with the draft as well, because we play this game that's based off of the arbitrary scores on a game that we may think is better or may think is worse. Who knows? But the scores on games, if you're like, oh, I think I want to play this game, you go look at the score, it's low. No, I hate that.
That drives me crazy. That does, and that's kind of where I get angrier with, like, Elliot. I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to call my friend out because we're friends, and I'm not going to do that to him. But I was telling him, because he's like, "Oh, what have you been playing lately?" And I said, "The Adventures of Elliot, dude. It is so much better." Because he's a guy that reads the reviews, and I know, like, money's a little tighter for him, so I get it. He has to be more picky choosy, understandable. But he's like, oh, it has, and I'm not making this up. I'm pretty sure he told me a 67 on Steam. I'm not saying that just to troll you, but I'm pretty sure that's the number he gave me. And I was like, what the fuck? That is a criminal review for The Adventures of Elliot. And you talk about art being subjective, which is a very important thing. And I've talked about this before when I review games myself, I mean, personally and to my friends, I try to take subjectivity out of it for a score. But I'll tell you right now, I liked Elliot more than the rest of the world probably did, other than you guys, because I think
we all did, yeah.
But I do think the score is, I think it's like 2 points lower than it deserves. I think it should be just objectively with things like pacing, whatever. But I still think it was underscored at first, and then that score came up. So I was like, okay. But my friend wouldn't even. He was like, oh, well, I read on Steam that you can beat it in like 20 hours, 15 hours, whatever. I don't remember what he told me. But he's like, and it scored that low. Like, I'm going to wait for it to come to Game Pass. And I mean, you can imagine how that reaction was for me. And I said, then we're never going to see games like this again. This game is better than that. And if you're asking me, you obviously value my opinion enough that maybe you should listen, because I've told you I have a decent enough track record. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But I think he would love this game. He loves Zelda. He loves Square Enix. What more do you need to know? The music is fucking killer, and I'm
the music
so good. So he ended up not getting it. And when I finished it, I did send him a screenshot. I have my 3 save files with different times. Yeah. And I don't remember exactly. I think it was close to 30 hours for me. Maybe like 9 to 31.
I was like 36.
But I sent it to him and I said, because the first one was time to finish. The last one was time to plat. And so I told him that the last one was the 31 or 29, whatever. But I said, even if this isn't long enough for you, this is a solid fucking game. Like 25 hours or whatever it was is an absolutely amazing experience for this style of game. If you don't like Zelda and you don't like Square Enix, stay far away from it. You're not going to like this game. But if you do, give it a chance, right? And that's the kind of stuff when scores can dissuade people from buying. That's why I get so mad, just like you, at reviewers when they give things like a 3 out of 10. And I'm thinking that don't deserve it. If they deserve it, well, that's a bummer in its own right. But God, when you're just not being consistent, and you're not giving the game its objective viewpoint for people to then add their subjectivity to it. That's kind of my hang up. And I don't know, Bob, do you feel the same way about that stuff, or does it just kind of roll off your back? You seem like a more chill guy with stuff than I. Get real mad about things like that, which is childish, and I admit it, but whatever. It
honestly depends on the game. Because Call of Duty can have the worst year ever, and it's still going to sell fucking more than Elliot will probably sell on its lifetime sales, right?
Sure.
You know, GTA, people can call it a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Yeah, objectively, I'm not thinking it's going to be that, but it's still going to sell 50 million units. In this case, specifically for Elliot, I'm really sad about this, because this is a new IP, and it topped the number, like in its first weeks of sales, it topped the #1 charts in Japan, which is awesome.
That made me happy.
But it depends on the game, because who's the publisher?
Yeah.
Square Enix. And you can't fucking apparently please Square Enix unless your name is Cloud Strife. So I don't know what to say.
And even then they're like, oh, it underperformed because not every person bought 17 copies on this planet. Like, what the fuck, Square? And so when you have a game like that, I hear exactly what you're saying. It's a major concern that we're just never going to get stuff like that, because they don't take chances and they don't have realistic expectations. And some of it is reviewers.
I love that it exists. I love that it exists, because it's a gem. It really is.
That, and at the end of the day, you saw some of them, they review 7 out of 10. I'm telling you right now, a 7 out of 10 is Hell Is Us. Great game. Just nothing to write home about. Elliot, we could have a spoiler cast on. So I'm a little personally jaded about it.
And I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad that both of you liked it as much as you did. I actually, again, because I do try to stay as objective as possible, I thought, man, if we ever did a cast, or if we talked about it at all, you guys might be surprised that I would score it lower than you would. But it doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't. That's not it at all. I personally loved it. I loved the majority of the time that I was playing it, and I'm glad that you guys did too. Picking it apart in other ways, it's like, it's not a perfect game, but there's pretty much not a perfect game, with the exception of maybe Super Mario Brothers 3. That's like the closest thing I can think of that would be arguably a perfect game for its time. But the reason I bring this up, the reason I bring this up is because I mean, you guys like your segues, but now that the state of the draft is over, I don't know how you want to do this, the news cycle stuff of the last week. You like to do your positive sandwich. you like to do that. I don't know that we have much to be positive about, so I thought maybe positive.
It's gonna be a negative buffet.
All negatives, and then we try to do positive at the end. That's just what I'm bringing to the table. If you guys want to try, So if you want to talk about the positives, do you want to talk about Elliot and what we're playing, or do you not want to? Do you want to wait till the end for that? We talked about Elliot a little bit.
Let's wait till the end. Let's end on positive, because this is all negative news. Though something just broke that is positive, which we can end on. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we could just start with that. Let's just start. We'll start with that. How about?
We'll start with that, then do the negative stuff, and then end with a little bit of Elliot talk positively. So let's start with that.
Let's do that.
Go for it.
All right. Well, as Matt alluded to, in this week's news. See, thank you, Caleb. You got me doing it. Caleb just got excited. He saw the news. We saw this last week, and then it was never actually confirmed.
Broke, by the way.
And it broke like an hour ago. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. The second time this year, Capcom is moving up a game. Instead of coming out September 24th, it is now coming up September 2 weeks, 4th. Actually. So September 4th now. 3 weeks. Holy crap. Keep killing it, Capcom. I'll be buying that game physically, and I'll be all over it the beginning of September.
Heck yeah. I probably won't, because unfortunately there are some games before and after it. Still, there's so much coming out, but I'll try. We'll see how long Beast takes. And then I'm gonna play Metal Gear Solid.
This is the
I
greatest
really do.
news, guys. It's so great. I'm so happy.
It moves it to a much better position and not around control resonance, which is awesome. So,
Yeah.
and it's a good move on Capcom's part. It
The
really
only
is.
thing
And it's
that's
very, very rare that you see a game get pushed up.
Yeah, and like you said, it happened earlier with Pragmata. Like that's awesome, and it didn't. It's not like it came out and it was like, ooh, it needed more time in the oven. No, that game is fucking great. So the fact that Onimusha, like, yes.
Yeah, great news.
I'm going to the U.S. Open on September 8th in New York, so I'll be gone the 8th through the 12th. Which I mean, I'm really excited about this. So whatever.
Sure.
I will be able to play Onimusha right before I leave. I am very happy about that. I don't want to rush it because when I get back, Wolverine is right next door. But like, I will take it instead of being a day apart from Control Resonant. This is awesome. Plague Tale Resonance I can beat hopefully in like a week, and then I'll get onto Onimusha. Like, fuck yeah, that's exciting as hell.
Yeah, all the resonances. Crazy. Yes, some great news to kick off the news.
And now we're gonna ruin your fucking day.
How about I put them on the board?
I'll tell you that.
I was gonna say, let's make them board first.
Sure, yeah.
Got one other thing I wanted to cover for you guys real quick. Just two things to come out of this. Prepping for everything else that's coming at the end. Sony did have their quarterly Q&A with Herman Holst and everybody, and there was a couple of, this is where key shareholders and stuff like that could ask questions, and it's all transcribed and everything else. But two things that I thought were really interesting of quote worthy. One of them was circulated quite a bit, and that was when Herman was asked about the platform, or rather hardware costs, and how essentially he's going to combat their strategy around combating around that a long term, since apparently that's not changing anytime soon. But this came out and he said, I'm looking for the quote, I apologize for this. Oh, there it is. Quote, as a principle, we do not intend to sell hardware at significant losses. That kind of scares me, gentlemen.
Dude, if you want to see the dark side of gaming, just read this thing. I made a joke as like the song "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend." Yep. I was like, that was just in my head the whole time I was reading it. This is the dark side of gaming. It's the unfortunate necessary side. It's about all the profits and the shareholders, pushing profits, and they don't give a fuck about the art. They don't give two shits about the art. And it's all about profits and greed over people, and this is just prominent with it. So I read most of it because I'm very interested, and God, it's so dry and just lifeless, and I hate it. I hate it so much. But it is needed because it's a business. You got to profit.
That's the unfortunate part, is that you already said it. It is a necessary evil for this kind of thing. And again, listeners know that I came from a film background. I wrestled with this for a long, long time working in the industry, and I loved it. I still love movies. I love them very much. Being able to see the ugly side of it is both a blessing and a curse, because you know how bad it can get, and you know how great it can be. The same is true for gaming. It really is. And I'm because I thought a long time ago, I thought, man, I'd love to get into game development, because this was when I was younger, and I thought I could bring like film stuff to games. And then Mass Effect came out, and I was like, well, I'm useless. I can't, they already did it. So I'm not needed. And I don't know how to game develop anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But this kind of stuff, when working on the films and seeing how it worked, I hated it at first. And then I realized how important it actually was on some level to have these suits that only see the profits, because the whole thing would go away if it was not affordable. If there was not a way to do it, not a way to make money, it just wouldn't exist. And that's kind of
business,
which really sucks for those of us that care as deeply as we do about things like, well, certain types of movies. Art house movies don't do as well as blockbusters do. That's fact. Games, Bob talked about it earlier with Call of Duty. Call of Duty will sell. It will always sell. Grand Theft Auto will always sell. We might talk shit about them and say they're not real games or whatever, but they are just a different audience, and that's fine. They are necessary to keep our industry thriving. But what these guys are talking about with this reading this transcript that is boring as all hell and all get out, it is more bleak than I remember it being even 15 years ago. I'm not against them saying we're not going to sell, I don't want to sell hardware at a loss, but this ties into the other piece of news that we're going to be talking about, so I won't bury the lead. But are you going to sell consoles anymore when you're going to lose a lot of your base based on the next piece or one of the next pieces of news we're going to talk about? So we can get to that, but that to me seems like such a short-sighted statement to make. And that's just me personally. I'm obviously not running Sony. I'm not qualified to do that. I feel like I would do better.
You're probably more, you're more qualified than these
better because I don't know why these people need to make $80 bajillion to buy their 15th yacht when they could, I don't know, settle for 3 yachts and still, they're making enough money that they're happy and then appease the players too. Like, I don't know why this sustainability.
Everyone can win.
I don't. Sustainability has always been the number one factor to me when I'm thinking about if I wanted to start a business, if I wanted to live my life comfortably. That's how I choose to live. I want to be sustainable. I don't want to just take and not give anything back. That I know that's capitalism, but there's a way that you can do both. There's a way that you can make money, have a better living than most people, but still not just fucking bankrupt everybody in 5 years for the short-term gain. This is not an economics podcast, but that's the stuff that drives me the most insane about this. And this kind of news that we got this week, especially today, especially, it really, really, it's like, I felt like I was stabbed with a hot iron when I read this morning. The other this stuff is different than what I'm talking about, but it all ties together. It's all important to reflect on the necessary evil being there. But boy, what we're getting is, it seems like it's become unnecessary evil. You're right. I mean, am I alone on this?
No, you're right. And it gets worse. It's compounded and we alluded to this with the GTA, it's compounded when you look at actual customer spending data. And so you send a message. The fastest way to get a company's attention is you send a message to the stockholders, and when you do that, that's when change happens, right? Like that's the fastest way.
It's the only thing that the only language everybody speaks is money.
Yep. Yeah. And the other part of this, because I'm really shocked by this, and this is one that I'm surprised hasn't been reported, because I really thought PlayStation Plus numbers were low in terms of their other tiers, because I know Matt got a glitch, a bullshit.
He got a happy accident.
But I'm at Essential, and I believe, are you at Essential as well?
Yeah, I'm at Essential too, because I buy all my games, so whatever. Like
I would be at Essential if it wasn't for that fucking error.
Yes, exactly. And well, that's what, and that leads me to my next point here is there was a follow-up question asked and said, how should we think about the pace and scale of future PS Plus price increases given its importance as a profitability driver? So it's important to note that Herman mentioned MAU, or monthly active users, is not the only metric they're looking at for profitability. Take note, Xbox. But his answer was PS Plus offers strong value to players, and we continually balance the value against customer cost. We're using multiple levers to improve profitability, including pricing, tier mix, and content acquisition efficiency. Higher tiers now account for 40% of subscribers, which reflects strong demand for the service.
Wow.
40% at higher tiers. So we're almost at 1-to-1.
Actually. That really surprises me. I wouldn't have thought that, but
people sign up and then they just forget about it. It's crazy. People have so many of those subscriptions. Crazy.
Wow. I mean, you do get a fair amount of free games with premium. I'm not shitting on premium. I think it's actually for people who play a lot. Like, yes, we would have Essential because we buy our games, but Matt,
yes,
I think the three of us would probably benefit in the long run for premium because of the freebies that they give out. I think we would, like, if in a 10-year period, if all things stayed the same. Will they? No. I mean, the shit that dropped today is going to change it in a very different perspective. But I do think I guess I just didn't realize people were willing to shell out that kind of cash for the premium subscription. 40% is I would have guessed 15 to 20 at most. I really
exactly.
Same here. Yeah, 20.
Oh, that's where I was at too. I'm like, for higher tiers, I would expect that to only for your premium people, which is telling when you're talking about who's going to move on to the PlayStation 6. News aside, we're talking about price sensitivity. So definitely interesting. But there's more to this. Trust me, you probably did as well, Matt. Spent more time than I wanted to reading this and combing through it.
Yeah.
But that's what we do here for you, so you don't have to, because it's dry.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's intriguing, and it's a look behind the curtain, honestly, about the financials and money mechanics behind gaming. So, it's a very dry read. It's like question, answer, follow-up question, answer. It's just like
I've read countless of these things with stocks, like the stocks and stuff that I've dealt with before, and it really, I mean, I fall asleep reading exciting shit. So this is an absolute slog. I can't do it anymore. If it doesn't affect me personally, or if I'm not like giving somebody advice about something, I mean, I don't, not to say I wouldn't help somebody anyway, but that I drew the line where I was like, Bob and Matt are going to, I'm not going to read this. I read the first bit and I was like, if I keep reading this, I might actually just drink myself.
We were going to give you a test on it. So,
okay. Answer. Everything's fucked. There. Did I pass? Did I pass it?
I mean,
A plus.
Thanks.
A plus.
Thanks.
At least it's a PDF, and at least there's not fucking 15,000 ads that pop up and follow when you scroll.
We really are in a hellscape of the darkest time.
And shitification. At least we're still getting good games that are fun to play. When that stops, then I'll be more curmudgeonly.
I won't do anything with my life, because that's the thing that sucks, is like, I'm not an important person.
Come out here and snowboard with me.
I do not. I'll break all my bones if I do that.
It's exciting,
but
more exciting than doing nothing.
But I mean, no, it's not fair. I would probably just play the piano like 15 hours a day and learn all the classic songs that I never did. You know, I like the game.
We can always go back to old games, right? We own all the old games and the old consoles, so we can always revisit.
It still fucking stings.
Absolutely.
It stings. And that's the thing that sucks, because it makes me think about, not to sound like old man yelling.
On that segue, why don't you guys just take it from there?
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you go ahead.
You're right. Just go for it, man.
All right. Let's take it. Let's get into the next negative piece of news. Unfortunately. First, I'm going to start off with the thing that happened with the movies on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
a couple days ago or yesterday or whenever the hell it was.
Exactly. Yeah. So PlayStation has basically lost licensing for some of the movies that you may or may not have purchased on your console.
From Studio Canal, if that means anything to you guys.
Studio Canal,
yeah.
Yes. So PlayStation is deleting 551 movies from customers' libraries. These are specifically from Studio Canal. There are some notables in here, like Terminator, and there are some like pretty big movies in here. So essentially, if you bought the movie on PlayStation, Sony told affected customers you will no longer be able to access your previously purchased content from Studio Canal, and it will be removed from your video library. No refund or consolation prize or anything of that nature. Just, sorry. Here go all your movies.
Yeah, to be clear, this is something that you would have paid for. Whatever,
exactly.
$5, $10, $15, whatever. You bought it. It was the license to watch it was yours. And yes, there's the EULA that everybody signs. But the fact remains, you had it, and they just decided, no, you don't. Because Studio Canal, I mean, I'm not giving PlayStation a pass here. I'm not. But it wasn't entirely PlayStation's fault. Like Studio Canal, no more. But it doesn't fucking matter. The fact remains, it was yours, and now it's not. You can't watch Terminator anymore if you bought Terminator. You just fucking can't.
Total Recall?
Yeah.
I mean,
Basically,
shit.
Studio
I
Arnold
would have bought some of
Schwarzenegger.
these movies.
Studio Arnold
Right.
Schwarzenegger. You can't watch his movies anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is crazy. You buy the movie digitally. You think you own it digitally. You can watch it whenever you want for the rest of time. No, it's not only getting. It's not only being inaccessible. It's just getting deleted from your library, like you never owned it and you didn't own it. And this is the brutal truth of purchasing digital items, which brings us into our next. Oh, go ahead.
Before we get into the next part, can we just, there's one thing that I, because you touched on a little bit where there's no apology really, other than like, sorry, we're taking it away. There's no even partial refund, prorated over years, like whatever. That's my biggest problem with this. If I can get on my fucking soapbox here, because I understand those people that bought these movies agreed that you are renting the license, you're paying for the license to watch it whenever you want, whatever. But where I have a bigger problem with it is Sony didn't even do so much as because of this thing, here is that thing. They could have just given everybody $20 in store credit. Would that have been enough? Absolutely not. I mean, it wouldn't have been in the grand scheme of things, but just some form of goodwill, something
a little reach
to
around.
make people less pissed off that they're losing something that they fucking paid for. Yeah. And you could even say, if you wanted to, I mean, I don't know, maybe they don't have the rights to do this, but again, like you mentioned, the bane of digital only, you have 30 days to get a flash drive, you download it, it is your file now. Once you lose the file, fuck you have to buy it again somewhere else. But just nothing. It's like they didn't even care. There's no goodwill, no paying it forward, no customer loyalty when you expect your customers to be loyal to you. And it's like, why in the fuck would I ever take that chance again? And again, we're not even in the main topic yet. So this is just me gearing up for the main topic where it really, really, really burns, and why I've almost emptied this bottle of whiskey. Is you don't even have so much as a, here's what we're doing for you. It's just, fuck you, no more, bye. That's it. That was essentially the note. That was what they sent people. Now, I didn't buy movies off of there because I do like to buy movies. I was going to ask,
has this affected any of us? It hasn't affected me. Bob, did you own any movies for Studio Canal on PlayStation?
Bold of you to assume I own my movies.
Bob is the real Assassin's Creed pirate. He's the real one.
But in all seriousness, I don't have any more movies after I lost a 4.5 terabyte RAID that hosted everything. Long story short, no. The only thing that I own are Bond movies and Harry Potter.
Love it.
But so I'm not affected by this. I own one movie on the PlayStation Network, and it was because of my PlayStation Portable. It was free when I bought the pre-order bundle, and I couldn't even tell you what movie it is, which doesn't help my argument of anger right now. But I know for a fact that it's still, I could turn on my fucking PSP and I could watch it because it's on there. I have it downloaded on the PSP. Now, once they said, nope, like no more, I would be mad because it really is the principle of the thing. It could be a fucking Care Bear movie that I'd never planned on watching again, and I would be just as angry because that's the way that they handled it to me is the worst part. I mean, it all sucks. But the way they handled it is really the straw that broke the camel's back, in my opinion. So I was curious if you gentlemen felt the same way, or if you were more upset that the digital library is going away in general. I mean, because that sucks too. That really, I don't want to downplay that. Yeah. That's a problem. But it is sort of what we agreed to if you buy that stuff. So if you would like to go into the next more important topic, which is why this stinks.
I'm more upset about this one. So to recap on that last piece of news, people that rented the license for their movie, thinking they owned it digitally, they basically thought, "Oh yeah, I got this movie and I own it digitally." They were technically renting the license, and when the license expired or was revoked, it's basically gone from their library, pulled. So, with that, PlayStation
keep that in mind.
Now, keep that in mind. Keep that in your head as we go to this next fucking news segment. Physical disc production ending.
Physical dick
Jesus
production.
Christ.
I'm so sorry. You ruined the serious moment with physical dicks production. Continue.
Yeah, it is a dick.
Stupid
okay,
autocorrect.
PlayStation, yeah, right. PlayStation today announced physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on all PlayStation consoles. In response to shifting trends and consumer preference, fuck you, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. First of all, let's go into what you actually buy when you buy a digital game. You're not buying shit. You're renting access to the licensing, and they own everything. They can revoke it at any time, as we saw with the movies. Is it going to happen? Probably not. Has it happened with games? Yes, it has. I had a game digitally, and it got removed. It was Lego Lord of the Rings, and WB's licensing lapsed, and I don't own that game digitally anymore. I fucking own it physically, though, but I don't own it digitally. So when you buy a game, in quotes, buy, you are gaining access to that license as long as it exists, and the license on their end, the publisher, the developer, I don't know, even music, even the studio, if it's based off of a game, as long as that exists, you have access to it. You're not buying shit. So as consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game disc production of all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. I'm going to start off with my opinion on this and how it negatively affects me, and I want to go to you guys, and I want to hear all about it.
I want you to go to Bob after you, because you guys know that I will talk for fucking ever. Bob hasn't said enough, so I'm going to try not to, but I do. I want you to go, and I want you to go to Bob next, and then I'll fill in the gaps.
Gotcha. With all the layoff news and everything like this, game delays, all the terrible stuff in the industry, right? It doesn't, I mean, I hate to say this, but it doesn't personally affect me, right? It sucks. People lose their jobs. I'm very empathetic about it, but this hits home. And this is probably the single worst negative piece of news in my gaming history since I was 6. I'm a huge physical collector. I've been collecting since I was 10. My first physical game was Final Fantasy VII on PC. I still own the discs.
Me too. Yes.
Hey,
That's great.
you still have the box?
Yeah. It's tattered and shit, but I have it. The little flappy box. Yeah.
We had a whole episode on physical versus digital, I think. Maybe. And we are all on this cast, Bob, Caleb, and I, we are all proponents of physical media, including games. And I'm a big proponent on ownership of tangible fucking things that you buy. This is going away. They want to control everything on their end, and they really don't want you owning anything. There are logistics behind this. Like, okay, disc production is going to cease. They don't have to produce the disc. They can control when a game releases. Leaks will be they won't happen as much. They won't happen as much. But at the end of the day, you're not going to own your game. You're going to be renting access to it for however long they fucking say, honestly. And you're not going to be able to share your game. Now, PlayStation could come out and they could say, yeah, we have a digital sharing thing. And I hope they do. Nintendo kind of has this.
Yeah, the virtual game
they did
cards.
this. Yes. So hopefully PlayStation does that. Kind of like, hey, we're going all digital. We got this contingency plan for sharing games, because games are meant to be shared. They literally had a fucking commercial in 2013 on the heels of Xbox announcing, all games are digital, that Shuhei Yoshida was handing to Adam Boyes, and he said, this is how you share a game on PS4. And he handed him a disc of Killzone 4. It was the greatest ad ever. Now
Things that
hasn't
have aged
aged well.
poorly.
Yeah. Even friends of the show, I let Bo borrow games all the time. If this stays the course and PlayStation doesn't put a contingency plan into for sharing games, it's locked to you. Once you buy that game, it's locked. Once it's download and you launch the game, you'll never be able to trade it in. You'll never be able to return it. You'll never be able to let a friend borrow it. It's basically vaporized, and you have bought the experience only for the remainder of how long that license lasts in the ether or whatever. So there's no ownership there. And when I buy my games, I go to Best Buy, I pick up the disc, I smell the case. You got to smell the case. And I have a tangible thing that I own, and I can do whatever I want with that game. We have a huge collection of retro games that have exponentially rose in value over time. Am I ever going to sell them? Probably not. But it's good to have those assets as an investor, honestly.
One quick interjection. Today,
Sure.
all of those skyrocketed in value.
Yeah.
So that's one net positive, I guess, of all this bad news. But anyway, continue.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Yeah. I think physical games are going to be on the rise. And after January 2028, and happy fucking birthday, me, 42 years old, the secret to the universe.
That's why I thought Bob would bid on Final Fantasy Resonance.
Put out my mind. I got to tell you, Caleb, the reason I did what I did is I went 40 and 15 because it was even numbers, and I'm autistic like that.
Gotcha.
Well, that's why I bid 16 on Deltarune, so I'm not surprised. I mean, I really not. But
but this, and we all love our physical gaming collection. I'm still buying physical to this day. I'm pretty sure we all buy Elliot physical.
I will admit I did not get a physical.
Gotcha.
But I'll wait till my turn to talk about this because I do have.
I'm wrapping up.
Like, I'm not against digital, but I am against most of this. So but continue.
I'm not against digital either. It's pretty convenient. Even Doom, the Dark Ages, when it came with just the disc, and the game wasn't on the disc, and the disc was literally a license, and it was real convenient. Digital is very convenient, right? You are sacrificing ownership for convenience, and you're sacrificing. I mean, physical game stores, you can't. A lot of people will buy their games and then trade them in for new games, and it's kind of like a cycle of gaming. I don't trade in my shit. That's why I have a huge physical library, because I see them as books on a shelf, as art. And how many times, Bob, do you come over and we just look at all the games and we reminisce and we pull one out? We're like, you play this one? It's amazing. And this is going away. This is going away for the next generation. Like, we have our physical games, but I mean, I think probably I'd say Intergalactic is going to be the last physical game PlayStation releases, maybe. But
unless the other news, the rumor, who knows if that game's ever going to fit.
Right.
Sorry.
It's a terrible piece of news. We knew this was coming. They're giving us, a year and a half lead up. I still hate it. It depresses me. It just goes back to the point that, what Warren Buffett said, you will own nothing and be happy. It's just going to a rent. And then the whole thing about the RAM, there's like I don't know. They're artificially increasing RAM so people will rent PCs. It's just, that's not clear and not official, but it's just going to a non-ownership society, and I don't like it at all. And I just like the fucking physical game. I go to Best Buy, I get coffee, I get my game, and I'm holding it, and I'm excited, and it increases the value of it too. And it increases the way you look at the game, right? Because I mean, as kids, when we got Zelda Wind Waker, we'd have to go to the store. We were all excited. We were probably at a midnight release. We got the game. The anticipation was building. We get home, put the disc in, and we're like, "Oh yeah, we get to play it." And then, like, the fact that it's physical and you own it, and that journey that you took to get it, it might enhance the experience of the game. It's like, cool. I think these digital games will be undervalued, and kids will just download and be like, "Oh, that game was fine. On to the next one." So
one of my favorite memories as a kid, because my parents, we lived in a relatively small town. We had just like a shitty Kmart. So if there was
Yeah.
ever a decent game that was coming out, it wasn't really available at Kmart. My mom would take me to Findlay most of the time, which was about 20 minutes away. And one of my favorite, it's silly, but it is one of my favorite memories. I was so excited. It was Mega Man 3, not 2. I already owned 2, but it was Mega Man 3 on the NES. And we found a copy, bought it. You know, I mean, I'd saved up money from doing chores or whatever I did. Probably just bitched and whined, and my mom bought it for me. But whatever, like I got the game, and she knew all I wanted to do was go home and play this game. But she said, well, let's make a day of it. And I enjoyed spending time with my mother. You know, it was fine. But I remember in the car asking her, I said, can I open it and look at the manual? And she's like, well, sure, sweetheart. Like, whatever you want. And I read that manual cover to cover probably 10 times on the ride, you know, while we're driving around Findlay.
Anticipation.
And she bought lunch. You know, it was a nice day. But I remember the next day at school, I was just like, I can't wait to get home and play Mega Man. And my friend was asking me, he's just like, how do you know so much about these games? And I said, I read the manual. And he's like, there's a manual? I was like, bro. I mean, I didn't say bro. I don't really say bro ever. And I definitely didn't when I was 7 years old or whatever. But I remember thinking that was just such a cool thing. And that went away when we got games with just the disc and no manual, where it's like a digital manual. And that was a little sad. And these steps that have led us to this point, and it's finally at that point now where it's just kind of broken for me. And I already broke my rule. I interrupted.
It's depressing.
Didn't get good.
No, it's
but I wanted to piggyback on what you said about getting excited about opening a game and smelling it and having it be there. I still remember those are some of my favorite memories. And I mean, I still love Mega Man, but the last time I did that, I was probably 12 because I could. It was probably Final Fantasy VII. Actually, I probably got the disc. I opened it and read the manual while I was driving home from Toledo or riding home from Toledo. I mean, I know I did that, but that was just as exciting as playing the game for me. It's reading that stuff, owning this game, and saying this is like a part of my life now. This is,
and you still have
the game,
right?
Fucking sucks. Of course I do. I have the black label. Yeah. It's not the misprint, but it is the black label, and that's I have Final Fantasy VII for PS1 and for PC.
Me too.
But Mega Man, I still have my box of Mega Man 3. I have the manual. Awesome. I've got the cartridge. Cartridge probably doesn't. Yeah. Probably isn't working that well because I played the shit out of it when I was a kid. But the point remains that I have
games are meant to be played.
It's important to me, and it's still here in my life. It's not just in the fucking ether somewhere. So anyway, sorry, continue what you were saying.
To wrap things up. No, you're good. You're good. That's a cool story. One of my stories, I used to go to the video rental store, and I saw all the 64 games on the shelf, and I got to pick it up and look at it, and Banjo-Kazooie caught my eye, and I would rent it for 24 hours, and I could never get past the quiz show because my time was up. So, but I would rent it constantly, and I could never get past it. The time I did beat it, ironically, was on the 360 when I got it digital, and I had access to it infinitely. I don't have access to it anymore because I don't have a fucking Xbox.
Right.
But, it's a dark day for gaming. It's a dark day for physical collectors. We knew this was coming. I feel like GTA was the spark because they had those, billions of revenue in pre-orders for a code in a box. Nothing physical about that. It's plastic and paper. And I just don't like the way it's going. I don't really have any video subscription services. The only reason I have PS Plus subscription service because I got a crazy fucking broken deal on it for like 10 years. I've talked about it, but I hate subscription services, and I'm not I don't like the fact that we're just renting everything. And I think this is honestly the beginning of the end. 2026 has been really bad for gaming. Even though we've got really good games.
It's been bad for the industry. Yeah.
It's been really bad for the industry, and everything has gone up. And this was announced, and as long as we keep getting really good games, that's awesome. But personally, in January 2028, I will probably step back a little bit from new release gaming because I don't think I'm comfortable dropping like $80 on a fucking renting a license. So I'm not comfortable doing it. So we'll see. I mean, maybe if they put some stuff in place, like, hey, you can lend this to a friend, or hey, you can I don't know, somehow transfer this or something. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do shit. I think this is just the way it's going to go, and I'm going to vote with my wallet. And
Well,
I
the three
probably won't
announcements,
buy a lot of new releases.
the three announcements that we got make that. I don't want to say make it clear, but it really feels that way, where they're just gonna,
just a big fuck
bowl
you
ahead and say "fuck you" if you want to do this, then you play our way or the highway. But so, or did you have anything else to add, or can we go to Bob and get his thoughts on this?
Shit sucks. I really want to hear what you have to say, Bob. Right? Yeah. So that's my 2 cents. Yeah. It's my rant.
No, I'm just, let me say it this way. I feel with you, man. And I'm right there with you. You hit on a key thing, of renting, license, and grow up in you mentioned it. We grew up in the renting era that led to purchasing of, some physical media off a shelf. It was an experience, opening the new game. Everybody, here's how I could tell you if you're an OG gamer. You open up the new game. What's the first thing you fucking do?
What kind?
What console? What game?
I need to know more. A brand new game. You open it up. What's the first fucking thing you do?
You smell it.
Exactly.
Yeah. There was that new game smell, and then my next thing was picking up the manual. I was a huge fan of all the manuals. So
yes, I could see that with you. And I'll put it. I want to be a realist. We've been doing this a long time, fellas, right? Various combination of us push us damn near 3 years or triple digits of gaming combined, right?
35 years for me. 35 or 36, depending on when it started.
32.
38 here. So
I was just, it was an Atari with my sister, so whenever she got it, that's when I started. Whatever year that would have been.
Yep, picked up the Atari. Yeah, I'm with you, man. But in the industry has always changed, but there's been one thing that's always kind of been in the back of my mind is, you alluded to it, Mega Man. Yeah. Caleb, Mega Man sold, but Mega Man didn't sell like Mario. Mega Man didn't sell like the Madden or before it was Madden, right? Sure. Gran Turismo, Tecmo Bowl. Final Fantasy VIII is the third best selling PlayStation PS1 game of all time, followed by Final Fantasy VII, and then by a fucking country mile, it's Gran Turismo, right? But then you start going down the list, and I play the obscure shit. So I've always seen myself as an outlier when it comes to the overall gaming community, and I've always worked a way around that. Accepting people have been going to digital for the longest time. That's been the customer trends. We know this, but at least I've been able to buy the physical media when I want. There's the option. Boom, get it. Have a great time about it. Yada, 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 so on and so forth. But Sony's pulling that away. Like, taking the people like me that have been supporting you for 30 fucking years, and all of a sudden pulling the rug underneath me. And that's fine. But I have some bigger problems. If you are going to release only digital media, Sony as a company needs to get their shit together from the back end perspective. Need I remind people, 24 days.
Good point.
Yeah.
The PlayStation Network was offline for 24 fucking days, and the only thing they did was say, "Oh, here's some free credits," and about at an assembly and saying, "We're sorry."
At least they gave us something then. That was something. Sure. I mean, I'm not saying that they knocked it out of the park, but they did something. That's what makes this last bit hurt even more, because they didn't give a shit this time. And it's like, what? Yeah. What? Anyway, continue.
Go ahead.
That actually reminds me real quick. How about the people's PSNs that get hacked too? They have this entire digital library.
Colin Moriarty, one of the most prevalent PlayStation gamers and voices. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a critic. But he's one of the best critics, whether you like him or hate him. We've talked about it before. But the guy knows his shit. And he's an amazing journalist. Again, love him or hate him, amazing journalist. if he could fall prey to this, what chance does
Yep.
a little guy have? It's very low. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No, you're right. That's my next point. Is the PlayStation Network is known for being like not just the network itself, but now you're talking about people's libraries, right? That are under threat constantly because, and it happens in other circles, but PlayStation it's so easy that it's happened to prominent people, right? Colin just happens to be most vocal, but it's happened to very prominent individuals where their money is just gone. And that's not of their choice at all. And that's Sony just giving them the big finger. More to that, it shocks me is we're looking at licensing for this, and Sony will pull the plug any day of the week. Here's the kicker: you look at we talked about dynamic pricing, earlier, last year, and dynamic pricing sounds good until all of a sudden the only way you can buy is through PlayStation.
It's a really good point.
And that right there is the crux of my problem. You are creating such a tight ecosystem. You're about to, I'm surprised. My hope, and this is keeping politics aside, my hope is the FTC does get involved at this point. Because you are creating an isolated monopoly. This is a bridge too far from that perspective. And I'll say it to you like this. You have 18 months, Sony. You gave me 18 months to start looking at physical media. I'm giving you 18 months to figure this out. Because if not, I'm walking away. I will walk away, and I will go do something else. I'm not buying Wolverine. I'll tell you that much. That's how serious I am. Wolverine? Nope, off the table. If it's a first party, until you sort this out, I am not buying the first party, and I will take all of my stuff with me because, as Gabe Newell once, these things are problems. Sony has bad customer support, and they're providing shit service on the back end, and now they're going to force you onto it. And Gabe Newell most famously once said, the reason you have piracy comes down to service. And shit service, and that's why Steam dominates on the PC platform. So I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a digital only PlayStation 5 when I can just, you know what, screw it. I've got till 2028. I'll save up. I'll spend $1,500. I'll get the GameCube, and I've got 350 games in my library on Steam that are going to work just fine. Fuck it, I'm out.
And that's I normally would just say, how dare you? I mean, like, in a normal circumstance, I would say, what are you doing? But I actually struggled with this similarly earlier today, because I mean, we're telling you this news broke this morning. I found it. So my in-laws were here, and we were just kind of hanging out this morning before they left, and Lisa and I had shit we had to do, but we're just talking. And in the morning, I am a little weird, and I like to be left alone, but I'm not going to be rude. I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm listening, but I'm just kind of reading news articles, whatever, headlines, to see if anything sticks out to me. And I found this on the PlayStation blog. I don't want to, it's not a flex. I think I found it first because it was really early. I just happened to see it, and I was like, is today April 1st? Is this a fucking April Fool's joke? Like, I'm not kidding you. I thought that I had either had a stroke, that I was losing my mind, that time travel happened. Too much Elliot. I don't know, but I saw this headline, and I opened it, and it was on the PlayStation blog directly. It kind of like just automatically ruined my day. It was just Matt said it earlier. This is, if not the worst news ever in my history of gaming. It's up there. It has to be up there. And the only reason I don't know if it's the worst news is because I'm still so mad about it that I can't think straight if anything else has ever come out that's worse. But right. Bob, I'm right there with you where I mean, it's kind of like if you're ever in a bad relationship with somebody, it might hurt because you love them, but you have to walk away. You have to do what's good for yourself. And maybe that's a little hokey or cheesy, but Sony really just, I mean, I felt like I said it earlier, I felt like I was stabbed with a hot poker in my stomach. I was just like, what is this? Because all the things that both of you said, but Bob, you specifically, when you mentioned PlayStation Network was fucked for 24 days, they're not as good one thing that Microsoft has always had better than them is their network. Microsoft's
Yep.
network has always been very solid. They know. I mean, they started as networking, so they should know that. And that's not necessarily a slight against Sony. They have gotten better. They have gotten more secure, but they're nowhere near where they need to be to have this be their new normal in 2028. 2028 is not that fucking far away. It is July 1st of 2026. We have, like you said, 18 months before January 2028 is reality. And that can happen in a flash. That is just, I mean, again, politics aside, the presidency will not have necessarily changed. Like that's not as much time as it feels like, right? It might feel like it's far away, but we're excited about games that are coming out next year. So when those games come out, it'll be 6 months, 9 months before this is a reality. And that stings quite a bit for so many reasons. Because one of the pieces of news that we haven't even talked about yet, we talked about the movies going away. We obviously talked about this big guy, and I'm not even close to done with my rant about it. They, in the same fucking, within an hour, PlayStation, because apparently ruining my day wasn't enough with this first announcement, they decided that they were going to say, all your PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita shit is no longer going to be supported on the store. Like you're not going to be able to buy it anymore. They're taking away
these two pieces of news. Like, do they understand?
Like that is one of the most diametrically opposed things that you can do. To me, honestly, even if I were a greedy corporate shill prick, I would look at this and say, guys, why would we say this at the same time we're saying that? You're just asking people to hate you so much. And I genuinely don't understand it. I usually try to be devil's advocate and understand some of the economics and the business side of things. And, growth is important. You sometimes have to trim. I know a lot of people were really pissed off that the PS4 wasn't going to be compatible with PS3 games. I know that was a problem. And I understand why, because you have this huge backlog category. The original 3 was backwards compatible to 2 and 1. The OG 3, the 60 gig. So when the 4 came out and they were like, we have to cut it off somewhere. I remember being slightly annoyed as a lifelong PlayStation, but I was also a lifelong gamer. I was an Xbox player. I was a Nintendo player. I played all the fucking things. I owned a Dreamcast. I bought it at launch. I thought the Dreamcast was amazing. Did it deserve to fail? It was ahead of its time. Didn't get the support that it needed, and that's the problem. But I still think it was a great console. Dreamcast was fantastic. PS2 was just better. That's honestly all it came down to. The PS2 had better support. So when the PlayStation 4 was coming and it wasn't backwards compatible, Sony said the architecture of the PS3 was difficult. The 7-cell was a problem. We want to be forward thinking. And I actually respected that because it was a decent answer. It was okay. So for people who want to play PS1, 2, and 3, you've got the 360 gig, fine. We're also going to offer things digitally on the PS4 for old school games. Great. That's a great idea. Can you support this? Can you keep it in your library? Yes. Legend of Dragoon is a PlayStation 1 release. That game came out on the PS3, again, digitally.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it because I own the original.
I have access to it.
Yeah. I own the digital copy and I own the physical copy on PS1. So I thought,
Me too.
And when it came out on PS5, it was free. That's how it should be. Honestly, I bought it before. It should be in my library. But like Bob was talking about, for that happy accident, Sony has had at least 10 problems. Like they might have this one thing that worked really well, and that's great. But Sony is nowhere near where they need to be to make this a reality. And here's the other issue that I have, which touches more on what Matt's talking about with the subscription-based stuff and the lack of ownership. I'm not anti-digital. It's greener in the long run. It doesn't take up space. And I do like owning my games personally and physically. That's great. But not everybody's the same. I like the option. I like the choice. I like the fact that digital should cost less because there's no manufacturing that you guys were talking about with the warehouses and printing the discs. And you don't have to hire the people to be the workers to do this. There's so much overhead that can be taken away. And how much of that have we consumers benefited from ever since digital's become a thing? A little bit, but in my opinion, not enough. When the PSP tried it, because it was portable, the PSP had games that were selling. I'm probably going to get the numbers wrong, but let's just say it was like $50. You could get them digitally for 46. You know goddamn well that it does not only save them $4 a game to print it and ship it and do all the logistics. So they're still making a killing on this digital. If you're going to force a digital only storefront where options are no longer there, where you might be able to go to Walmart or Best Buy or Target or wherever and buy it digitally with a little code, but they're going to sell it at the same cost that you're selling it on your PlayStation store at best. Like I joked about this earlier today. You can get God of War Ragnarok at Target for like $24 or something, or you can buy it on the PlayStation storefront digitally for $60.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I mean, sales happen and things can happen. That's great. But why am I at the whim of one thing? That is not okay for me. That's like that's a bridge too far where I just refuse. And I'm almost in Bob's camp where I would just say, I would have to break up with you and walk away and say, I'm better than this. I'm worth more than this, than the way that you're treating me as a customer. And the sad part is they'd probably still be fine, because for every one of me, there's 10 others that don't really give a fuck. They would just pay for it digitally and not care and whatever. But when I buy games digitally, it either has to be really special for me to pay full price. It has to be always online. Like Diablo 4 is one. I was a big Blizzard fan. I loved Diablo and StarCraft and such, Warcraft. Diablo, I hate that it's always online. I fucking hate the fact that Diablo 4 is always online. But I loved it enough. I was willing enough to just accept it, because even the bad Blizzard's been around, and I trust Blizzard enough that it's in my library and I'm not going to lose it. I can't believe that I'm saying I trust Activision Blizzard more than I trust Sony to not just fucking take away my shit. That to me almost sounds like blasphemy to say it out loud, but I feel that way, because as much as I've defended Sony, and I've been with Sony since the beginning, they kind of do whatever they want and they get away with it. We've talked about it plenty of times on this show before, that Xbox has constantly shot themselves in the feet the last 10 years, if not more than that.
In the
Xbox
face.
360 is the best console that they've ever done, and it was an amazing experience. The Xbox 360 was awesome.
Easily.
They didn't
Agreed.
shoot themselves in the foot until like the very end of that, when the Xbox One was coming out.
The Xbone.
That's not the Xbox 360's fault. Microsoft couldn't help themselves. But when it came to Sony lucked into these benefits a lot. They lucked into the fact that you could share games on the PS4 when Xbox just might as well have hung themselves on a noose, themselves on a noose with the digital only thing. We've seen where this path goes before, at least, and it wasn't pretty. Nintendo's always done their own thing, but you know what? This is sad. I trust Nintendo more than I trust Sony. And Nintendo has fucked up about a dozen times in my lifetime, but they are still reliable enough that when I buy games digitally on their storefront, I know that Nintendo would either give me ample opportunity or do something to say, we want your business. Here's what we're giving you. And what Sony did with these movies, with the digital only in January 2028, and with the PS3 and the Vita going away, is just like, who infiltrated you and is dismantling you from the inside? I don't understand it. I cannot wrap my head around why, because these games aren't going to be any cheaper once this digital only storefront exists. They're going to be just as expensive, if not more.
Yeah.
And sucks. It just sucks. That's it.
Yeah, I'll tell you to you like this, Caleb. I think Sony's about to see that gamers are not only is the gaming market shrinking, but gamers are even more fickle than before. Because, let's be honest, if we're going to be really blunt, and I've kind of held my punches a little bit, but if I'm going to be really blunt, we got Saros this year, which I didn't buy, but I heard it was a good, but it wasn't Returnal good. We're getting Wolverine, which is going to be a good game, but it's Wolverine. We have God of War Lawfare, which is another God of War over the shoulder third person style game. You have The Last of Us, which is amazing, and The Last of Us Part 2, but where are the other things? Sony was always amazing when they knew to let shit go. When they went from Crash, when they went to Spyro, when you went, you went on Legend of Dragoon is a Sony first party. Well, it's technically Sony owned.
And what the fuck are they doing with it? Nothing.
They're not doing anything.
Right.
But they're going to pump out this after this, and then Intergalactic from a concept sounds cool, but if Neil, you got to show me something, and we haven't seen anything. So you've quite frankly, you don't have anything for the first party. I know there's a conversation about second party and third third party and independence not being enough, or not going to be enough because there's so many games. But when your first party, quite frankly, is the exact same slice, guess what? Nintendo is offering me all of the Xenoblade series. They're going to give me the Metroid. I'm going to consistently get a good Zelda game. I'm going to consistently get a good new, and they're going to sprinkle stuff in.
Fire Emblem, there's something for everybody.
They will always do more and experiment, and I would rather be there.
And that's the thing that sucks, because I've always rooted for Sony. I've never been a shill. At least I like to think that I've never been a shill. I will call them out on their shit. I really will. I mean, now, clearly, calling them out.
We're not fanboys. We're not fanboys.
But for all the missteps that Xbox has done and all the questionable decisions Nintendo has made, I have to give them credit. You're going to hear this straight from me. One of the most respectful things I can say about Xbox, despite the fact that they have made a lot of mistakes, most of the time they have at least owned it. They're not afraid to backpedal. They backpedaled with this all digital shit for the Xbox One. Now, it was too little too late. Sony had already steamrolled it, because Sony also had a fuckload of games coming out, and the PlayStation 4 just looked better. It did. I'm sorry. The PS4 was a better console than the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And that's not me being a shill. That's just, look at the history and look at the
logistics.
facts. But they didn't do themselves any favors with this all digital. You can't, if you want to go to a friend's house and play, we're going to make you have to study advanced calculus to fucking share your games. That was a huge mistake that Xbox made. But they backpedaled, and they admitted it, and they said, we fucked up. Phil Spencer said, we're going to try to fix this. Did they ever really recover? No. I mean, there's plenty of Xbox fans, so they recovered enough. They're still around. They're still relevant enough. But Sony, this was Sony's to lose. And I really think they did almost irreversible damage. I mean, even if they change their mind, people are going to be like, well, how do we know you're not going to change it back? That's how a normal consumer would look at this. And for Nintendo's mistakes, Nintendo's always done their own fucking thing. But you said it already, Bob. One of the things that Nintendo has consistently had over the years is their first party games. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond didn't do as well as we all wanted. I mean, Matt really liked it. I enjoyed my time with it, but it's the weakest of the Prime games. But you know what? We fucking got one. We got one. We got a Metroid Prime 4. That speaks volumes. When you're talking about Sony not releasing more than 2 first party games a year, I used to applaud them for that, because the first party games were always just killer titles. I love Wolverine as a character. I am so excited for this game. I don't think it's going to be as good as Spider-Man. Spider-Man was just so fucking good when it came out. I want it to be, but I'm a realist. I saw the trailers, and I'm going to have a good time with it. But after today, I'm just like, what's the fucking point, Sony? You guys were just assholes. And I'm not going to say I can't forgive them, because that's a little short-sighted, but it really hit me at my core, because there's another thing here. We haven't even talked about cost value proposition. If you said, all right, we're going to go all digital, and we're going to try to push people towards their version of Game Pass, whatever the fuck that is. Right. If it's affordable and I get all my premium games, and the games are not $70, $80, $100 a piece, I'm not going to be happy about it. But I would be more inclined to say, okay, well, if I don't own it ever, then you can't charge me for owning it. If it's going to cost me $6 a month to play whatever I want, okay, I'm not going to like this, but that's you guys want to stay in business and you want this constant subscription shit. I don't like it, but I'm more inclined to say, okay, if it's not going to break the bank. But when you look at what we have with streaming services for television, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Peacock, MGM Plus, I think I could list 5 others that are just fucking overpriced. Apple TV is awesome, but that started at $5 a month. Now it's at like 15 or something. You add all that shit up,
Disney Plus.
and you don't. Oh, yeah,
$3
Disney
a month.
Plus is another one. ESPN Unlimited, ESPN Plus. Yeah, I mean, again, the list goes on. All of those added up together are quite legitimately insane, in my opinion. I mean, as a consumer, they're insane. And I'm not. This isn't like a humble brag. I spend my money. I have money to spend. I love this stuff. I live for this stuff. I will buy games. My pre-order list, which I've been proud of this for a couple years, hasn't been crazy until this year. It's been nuts. I have 5 games that I pre-ordered in August. I have 6 in September and 3 in October. And I normally don't do that because I want to wait and play what I want. But they're all going to be fucking awesome. Streaming services, I don't do. I bounce around because it's just too expensive. It's not worth my time. But if you have, and it's not worth my money, if you have PlayStation going to an all digital storefront and they're going to still try to make you spend $80 for a game, like fuck yourself. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that all the time and never own something. You have to make it worth my value proposition. And I am on the higher end of the average spender. So I'm just imagining from the masses, the people that can't just buy whatever game they want when they want to because their lives are harder than mine. What is Sony thinking here? I mean, we're looking at these numbers. You've read a little bit about their boardroom boring ass shit, and yes, they're numbers driven, but are they just so far removed from reality that they think this is going to be a win for them? I mean, I'm asking that genuinely because I'm in it. We are all in it. We love this industry. We love Nintendo. We love Sony. We want Microsoft to do well. We like Steam. Some of us even like mobile games. I know that's kind of a bad word, but fuck, I'd rather spend money on a mobile game now than Sony's all digital. That's crazy. I feel like I should melt like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, just saying that out loud and meaning it. But that's kind of how I felt today. It ruined my whole fucking day, and that was the start of my day. So you can imagine how I've been.
I can answer one question for you though, Caleb, about are they that disconnected? Quite frankly, I think people are they're smelling their own farts. We have a situation. If you read this whole document that came out, this is the kind of stuff that if it was actually truly put on social media like Asha and Phil did on the Xbox side, Herman Hulst would be getting eaten alive because he's talking out both sides of his fucking mouth. There's talks about being PlayStation brand being the living room experience. That's not going to be the case if there are no games to go with it. But then at the same committed to the integrity of the system, but then there's an entire paragraph talking about the use of AI and using AI to get rid of repetitive tasks for people. It's unreal that this is the kind of shit that's being said, but we don't know. It's not in the zeitgeist because this is the kind of thing you have to go to Sony's website for and download the PDF and then read through, and not just a clickbait article that can be spun out of control because of Asha. That's the answer to your question there. But I will tell you, this is the other thing that Sony, you're right. Sony did a lot of brand damage right now. They've broken a lot of trust because I'd be happy to move over to a digital platform. Not happy. I would move over to a digital platform, but your digital platform is not there. And 18 months is not enough time to get everybody on board for it and to make it right. So not only do you need to think about this and make it right, now, if you are going to do it, they need to be able to provide a way to move my games forward, because if not, these games are going to sit on the shelf. And God help me, come January 1st, 2028, if this isn't sorted out to a level that makes me comfortable as a gamer and to provide you with my information and time, I will end up in somebody else's pocket.
Yeah, and I actually want to posit this to both of you guys, because I one of the things that I don't like to do, even though I do it all the time, I genuinely don't like to do it, is to hypothesize. Like when I'm reviewing a game or we're talking about games, I try to review or think about what's there, not what could have been there, because you can. Not that I know better than anybody else, but sometimes when the story goes off the rails, in my opinion, you might think it's awesome. But I do think like, man, if only they did this, it'd be cool. With this, it's a little bit different. And the question that I'm going to posit to both of you guys is, I mean, it's me, so it's going to be long-winded. Sorry, buckle up. When you have a console, like, because this, I don't think this will affect the PS5 or the PS5 Pro as much as we think it will. I mean, it'll still affect it because it'll exist after 2028. But the three of us don't need a PlayStation 6. The PlayStation 5 Pro is an excellent system. If you're going to release a PS6, there are so many things that I feel like you need to do to make me interested. And this is me who's been interested in every console generation ever. But right now, we are just now seeing what the PS5 Pro can do. Alan Wake 2,
returns, yeah.
Gorgeous. Pragmata, gorgeous. Resident Evil Requiem, gorgeous. You guys played Neo 3. I didn't actually play it, but it ran really well on the PS5 Pro from what you told me and what I had seen in some of the clips of your streams and such. But we are finally getting to that point. Some of these, like PSSR 2.0, that's coming out on stuff that, whether it's new or whether it's like old patches, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth looks gorgeous now with the PS5 Pro. All of those things. If we were going to get the PS6, and let's just pretend that they actually hit all the notes right, like it was giving us 4K 60 with ray tracing and path tracing. I mean, that's not going to happen for under $3,000 because of the fucking data centers and AI bullshit. But let's just pretend for a minute. I personally think that they need to go the route of the Switch. I think they need to be a hybrid where you can take it with you and it works whether it's docked or not. That's just me. Maybe you guys think I'm insane, but you touched on a little bit earlier, Bob. They're talking about, Herman Holst is making a comment that I don't plan on selling these systems at a loss. Usually, a very, very successful system will sell the hardware at a loss because you make up for it in software. You already talked about it. What if nobody's buying the fucking software? You think that Sony is going to release a $1,200 PS6 because memory shortages and RAM problems and this, that, and the other, and only have a digital storefront? Do they seriously think that this is going to succeed? But the question to you, not only that, part two of the question is, if there was a successful PS6 with a digital storefront, what would you guys want to see for all the above? Like, to make you say, okay, I am willing to do this. Because for me, it's all about the cost and value proposition. I love games. I can't imagine my life without gaming. To me, they are what makes books important to certain people. I love the stories. I love the world building. I love the artists. I love the voice acting now that we have voice acting. I love the set design, the graphic design, the styles. Like, there's just so many things about it. And I actually wanted to ask you guys if there was ever a podcast topic you wanted to do, what gaming means to all of us. I think we should do like a 5 or 6 people, because that to me is something that I think is a really good idea. But now is not the time for that. But that's like a little bit of what gaming means to me. And that might not mean the same for other people, but they have movies, they have television shows, they have books. I just happen, I love all of them, but games and movies are where I feel the most at home. So what would it take for you guys to continue along this path? Like, if not that anybody from Sony gives a shit about our opinion, but on the off chance that some random fucking dude, some peon that works at Sony ever heard us talk about this right now, while it's important, what would you like to see in the PlayStation 6? And also, if the digital storefront is the necessary future we have to go to, what would make you be okay with it?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
From a console standpoint, I think 2x performance minimum. I mean, 4K, maybe not upscaled, 4K native, and 60 frames. 60 frames just needs to be the base, right? Run at 60. But it really all depends on the games they have, what is offered. And I'd love to see more new IPs. I mean, the PS4 was an incredible generation. We got so many new IPs. We got Horizon, Bloodborne, Death Stranding, all kinds of good games. And they were new IPs, and it was the developer taking a chance and deviating from what they've done before. So new IPs hit close to my heart for sure, but it's all about the games, what they offer, right? I assume Spider-Man 3 is going to be a PS6 game, and are they going to make it PS6 exclusive? Probably not. It's going to be a
You're gonna be a
multi-generational
crossover.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There won't be a lot of PS6 exclusive games because they know the console is probably going to come out super expensive. I would love to see a hybrid. Just make it OLED. If it's not OLED, I'm not fucking buying it. That's basically just full stop. OLED is such a superior display technology that I am so fucking spoiled.
Right. We are very spoiled with
Yeah,
the stuff that we can
yeah,
do. I mean, we have acknowledged that before, but you are
absolutely.
right.
Yeah,
I do think that should be the bare minimum, especially moving forward.
yes.
You're jumping next. I
Better
agree.
battery life too. It's going to increase that battery life. The moment the Portal has an OLED version, I'll probably buy it. Probably be $400 at this point. So who knows? But as for the digital storefront, they got to figure out, and they gotta give us a way to trade and let people borrow games. Like maybe send it to the PSN digitally. Let people borrow it. But they're probably not going to do that because that's a nightmare on the back end,
Yeah.
most likely.
Can I ask
So
you, would you be interested at all? I mean, I feel like the three of us are not interested in this, but I'm
yeah,
genuinely curious. Would you be interested or more inclined if you could sell your digital games? Whether it be to, like, if let's say you bought a game brand new digitally for $60 and then I wanted to buy it off of you for 38. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers and shit. Would that entice you at all? Would that even make a difference in your mindset? I doubt it because
no,
I like
not
to
at
keep
all.
my games, even the bad
Yeah,
games that I bought and played. They're a part of me, so I like to keep them. It's weird. It's like
exactly.
if I buy a bad book and I read it and I go, "This book fucking sucked," but I'm not going to get rid of it because it's a
Right.
part of me now. Like I feel the same way about games. So, what about you, Bob?
Yeah.
Would you be interested in that at all? Would that make or break
Not
it?
really.
Okay. I
Nah,
didn't think so. I just wanted to ask.
yeah, no. Are you done, Matt? Anything else on that one?
Are you done? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So to just wrap it up and put a nice little bow on it. This is the first generation. I'm usually excited
Yeah.
for new technology, new console. But the PS5 Pro, we're just now seeing return on investment, ROI, right? And we're just now seeing it stretch its legs. And I honestly don't need anything. I mean, the upscaled 4K with the PSSR 2.0 is pretty fucking perfect right now. And it looks great. If it runs great at 60, awesome. 4K upscaled 4K 60, I think, is the pinnacle. And I don't really need anything else. Native 4K, maybe, but anything over 60, I'm not really interested in. So, any 60 frames per second, to be clear. So, I think we've kind of hit an apex of technological prowess in these games. And I am not ready for a new console. I'm not even interested. I want to see more with the PS5 Pro, and I want to see what more this console can do. I hope they don't announce anything new because it's going to come out at a ridiculous price, and there's not going to be a lot of exclusives for it because they know that it's going to come out at a ridiculous price. They're going to sell it. They're not going to sell it at a loss, so it's already going to be super expensive. A lot of people probably won't buy it as much as they want, and so for that, they're going to start making games for PS6 and PS5. We saw it in the PS5 era. There were a lot of PS4 hybrid. I mean, what were our two games at launch? Returnal, or the launch window, Returnal and Ratchet and Clank,
Well,
Rift Apart,
you mean a 4 to 5 or 3 to 4?
4 to 5.
Oh, 4 to 5. Ratchet and Clank,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, the ones you had listed, but I actually know the 3 to 4 better because I know Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed Black Flag was a big one of that, and I got it for
Yes.
PS4, and it was just so much better. But
Right.
before Bob goes, I do want to just clarify one thing for the listeners, because I agree with you, Matt. I have been very, very much like I am a day one. I'm usually a day one guy when it comes to this
Me
new
too.
hardware. Even if I'm not sold on it, I've always liked to be the guy this is before I had met the rest of you guys. I knew Matt, but I didn't know Bob. I didn't know Alex. I didn't really know Bo. I was always the guy in my friend group here. I liked to be the early adopter and tell people this is not worth it for you yet. Like, it's worth it for me because I just love this stuff, but it's not worth it for you. Or, dude, you have to get it. It's great. This is the first generation ever, and this is before today's news. I felt this way months ago. While I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is too soon. This is way too soon. You're not there yet. The gains you're getting and providing for us or minimal at best. Now, maybe they could come out swinging and say 4K 60 ray trace, pass trace, but there's no way that that's true unless it's multiple thousands of dollars. So, but that's before the news today. After the news today, I'm even further on the other side.
Same here.
I was thinking about it where I was like, if there were games like, let's just pretend that Final Fantasy VII, you all know, listeners know how much that game means more to me than any other game in the history of the planet.
Same here.
If Part 3 came out and it was like digital only PS6 exclusive, I don't think I would. I would question whether I would do
I'd question it, but I get it. That
if
would
it
be
was
a
crossover,
and it would be for you.
If it was a PS5 Pro or PS6, I would probably get it on the PS5 Pro, and I'd say, "Fuck you guys! You don't deserve my money."
Yeah.
For me,
I thought you were talking PS6 exclusive.
But that was the one option. Was if it was exclusive, I would be very questioning. But if it was a cross generation, I would go this generation. I wouldn't go next. And for me, that's kind of insane. Like if you told me that 10 years ago, I'd say you're smelling your own farts, as Bob. So
right.
So anyway, Bob. So for you, what would make you be, ready to do this thing and say, all right, let's go, or not? Where would you?
This is a great question, by the way. I love it.
Yeah. No, it is a really great question. So I'm going to tell you like this. I'm okay with a all digital marketplace, right? Here's the big catch, and I've been seeing this discourse online with people, is because there's comparisons to PC in Steam that's out there, right? There are a couple of catches though. PlayStation, if they lose a license, they're going to revoke and do destructive data because they own they don't own the hardware, but they made the hardware, right?
Yeah.
And it would be suicidal and quite frankly unrealistic to ask Sony to do let other storefronts on your console. Conversations about this with the Xbox, the Helix, and adding Steam. No, that's stupid because now Sony's going to lose out on those sales, right? So you've got a fundamental problem. The reason I'm okay with an all digital library on PC is because I still have GOG.
Yeah.
I still have Epic? Am I a fan of it? No. But they are still there and they are available. Yes. I don't have that on a PlayStation 6 all digital ecosystem. So there's I can't do it because it is a bridge too far. You're asking me to pay out for this service when I'm not even guaranteed to be able to see it in the long run. At the end of the day, I'm not comfortable with it as a consumer. I'm not comfortable with it supporting it from an ideological standpoint. I'm not comfortable with that because you own you've designed and frankly can control everything from the top down, and that kind of verticality of monopoly is not something I'm comfortable with, just flat out.
Yeah, it sucks, right? I mean, it really does. Just it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, no matter how you look at it, right?
It does, and then more importantly, with the PlayStation 6, here's a hot tip, Sony. I'm going to say this, all right? Stop chasing graphical fidelity. The reason your games struggle to hit 60 is not because of the Unreal Engine. It's because you have a bottleneck in your system. That's the CPU.
Yes,
the PS5
CPU.
Pro 100%. Gets a minuscule additional power from the CPU, and you can see it every time there's a game that requires the CPU to load in assets at a high rate. The game fucking tanks when it's trying to do the calculations for that.
What is it, like 30% from the base PS5 or something like that?
No, it's like 10%.
Yeah, not even. It's really low. Yeah.
It's really low. Stop chasing that graphical fidelity. The games look beautiful enough. Square Enix has quite frankly kicked you in the nuts and showed you that there is beauty in fidelity in doing something that's not ultra realistic. The HD 2D engine slaps when it comes to showing what...
Can I give a quick interjection just because it'll add a little bit of levity to this? With Elliot, one of the things that I was really upset, and this was during, I'm going to try to stay away from spoilers, but like it was a story portion of the game where they zoomed in on I think it was food, actually. It was like food in the HD2D engine. And that was the only time in the game where I thought, boy, I'd really like to have seen this in not HD2D. I just because the character models, the designs, when they do their little like hand drawn animations when they're speaking, are awesome. They're fucking on point. It was the same thing with Final Fantasy Tactics when Ramza and Delita and everybody was speaking. I loved the Evilise stuff is my favorite art style ever. That doesn't mean that other stuff is bad. It's just that's personal preference. I actually like that art style more than FF7. Fun fact, but with Elliot, I was like, I would kill to see this game in like hand drawn animation with like a 2D, 3D thing. But otherwise, the HD 2D engine, you said it slaps. It's so good. And I think the reason that I wanted to see it in better than 2D or HD 2D is because of how good the HD 2D does. It makes things come to life. Characters, when they laugh, when they smile, when they cry or whatever, they have that like Super Nintendo feel, but for present day. And I realize that doesn't really have to do much with what you were saying, but I agree with you in that we don't need to chase this shit anymore. You need to just offer the substance, right? I mean, the substance is what we're looking for. The style, we can do just about any style now on PlayStation 5. On base PS. Now with the Pro, we can do even better. I mean, Pragmata is absolutely gorgeous. Resident Evil Requiem, stunning. Why are they chasing this stuff that is so CPU hungry and not being able to hit it?
It's because Sony started this arms race. This is the reason Nintendo went to the Switch. Sony started the arms race of high fidelity and power with their systems, and that's awesome because we want to push the boundaries, right? Yeah. But we're getting to the idea of diminishing returns, so things haven't pushed beyond to where they need to be. So Nintendo did the best thing one thing they've known since the 80s, which is they pivoted and they thought outside the box. And then you have the Switch, which, by the way, I don't care how many more PS2s magically are sold. As far as I'm concerned, in my heart and mind, Switch is the best-selling console of all time. Like
the Switch is so good. It was yeah.
And for perspective, I got two final things for you on this one. For perspective for you guys, Sony, and then when the other one's for you guys on perspective, because I just want to. I don't think anybody's still brought this up to you, so I want to hear your thoughts or hear your groans, if you will. Is first off, if you look at the list of the game of the year winners, the most critically acclaimed games, right? Sony got 2024 for Astrobot, right? That's Team Asobi. That game has so much flair. It's creative. It's new. It's original. Their last win beyond that, God of War 2018.
Yeah.
You are getting your well, I'm sorry. Technically, The Last of Us Part 2. I forgot. I did forget about that. But my point is, these games are doing there, and then you look at the other ones that are winning. Right? They're doing other things that are unique. They speak to the massive fan base. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm worried because I don't think Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, is going to speak to the massive fan base. It's not going to do it, and it's not going to push the sales. It's going to cost $400 million, and it's not going to get a fraction of what Pocopia cost.
Yeah,
it's the roosters are coming home. And you're going to pay the piper for the war that you started. And yay, you won the war, but now you're going to pay at the end for being the guy on top. So.
It's kind of weird because I mean I'll say I'm excited if Intergalactic ever actually releases. I do genuinely like those stories that they do, whether they're good or bad or otherwise. They're interesting, they're new, they're special to me. Last of Us Part 2, there was that whole go woke, go broke, and like just all the things that had happened around The Last of Us Part 2. It was still successful, but that's just a necessary that happens now. That's the internet. That's the masses. It's going to happen with Intergalactic. The Heretic Prophet could be the best game ever made. That'll still happen because of who's making it, because of who the lead is, because of how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And so you're right. There's no way it's going to recoup the cost if it stays in development for 10 years. Like that's just a mistake, no matter how you slice it. Right. I mean, that's kind of the point you're making is it could be the greatest thing of all time and people are still going to shit on it.
Yeah, it's not going to sustain long term, and that's why we look at the push for live service with Sony, and I get that, right? And that's been bungled, and that's another conversation I don't want to divulge into.
My point is, evil. It's just not. You don't need 10 of them. You might need one Twisted Metal, guys. We've talked about it 1,000 times before. What are you doing? That's your live service game.
Yeah, my point is the Game Awards have been around since 2014, so the start of the PS4 era. PS4 era was a banger, but the PS5 has quite stuttered, particularly in the first party. If you are the de facto console that most people go to, like quite frankly, that's what it is. In the gaming sphere, you are the de facto. Like Nintendo or Xbox just keep tripping over themselves, and you're earning more people every day. You should be in there with your first party and with your partners, and you should be hitting banger after banger after banger. And Jeff Keighley comes up and says, Team Asobi won this year, Naughty Dog won this year, so on and so forth. But you haven't. And this is the true sign. And now you do this to me as a consumer. Guess what? No, I'm not going to do that. I will give you one final thought for a gentleman, because I don't know if you've heard this yet or realized this yet. I want you to take a step back and realize that there is the possibility in the world we live in that the first and last mainline Final Fantasy game released on a PlayStation will be Final Fantasy VII.
Physical?
It's
like
for physical release.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's like weirdly
that's quite
special.
The revelation.
That's weirdly special
isn't
to
it?
me, but it also hurts a little bit because it's like I mean, I don't know what I expected when I was a kid. That when I'm an old man and I'm playing these games, like, will I make it to Final Fantasy 20? Like, I don't know. This is something that I thought of when I was like 12. And that's like, I thought, if anything, Square is just going to go defunct because of their unrealistic expectations. I didn't think that Sony was going to be the one to kill us all as far as the gaming sphere is concerned. But no, you guys both bring about some interesting points, and I agree, with the vast majority of them. The one other thing that I wanted to ask you guys about, and we can be quick because I know this has been long. Sorry, listeners. I promise I was going to try to not be this way, but Sony fucking ruined it earlier today. So I'm mad at them.
It's a good conversation.
Would you guys be more inclined if for some reason Sony said, look, we've worked on our network, we're gonna make these games available, we guarantee for like 20 years. I don't know. I'm not Sony, so I can't really say, but just something. Would you be any more inclined to be on board if they gave you a way to take your current physical library and add it digitally to your accounts, so that, and the example I'm coming up with is like PS3, right? I've got a bajillion PS3 games. Let's say, well, this is a terrible example because it's been remade to a fucking oblivion, but The Last of Us Part 1, right? The very first one, if it wasn't available on PS4 and 5 and whatever, but if you could take your physical copy, pop it into your system, add it to your account, it reads your registration, it's yours, you could still sell that to somebody else. They could pop that disc in their system. Now the registration is owned by them and not you. You don't have the license anymore. You sold it. If you could do that for your current PS4 and PS5 games on the PlayStation 6, would that have any effect on your opinion towards the next generation and the digital space? I know it's kind of a weird question, but we are collectors. We have the physical versions.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I feel like that should have happened way back on the PS3.
Yeah, very much so.
But would you be more inclined to give Sony another chance, or not that you're not giving them another chance, but you know what I mean?
They said I could take my entire physical library and make it digital on PS6. I just needed a PS6.
Well, yes. Essentially,
That'd be a system seller for me.
Kind of it would be. You'd be okay with it, even though it was all digital after that. Like you'd still be okay with the all digital storefront if they made that.
I can only, again, like I said, if they implement a solution for letting friends borrow games, maybe resale, just give me the fucking option. Let me know it's there. I'm not going to resell any of my games, but I want to let people borrow them.
Yeah, you want to have the opportunity to do it should you need
exactly.
To, right? What about you, Bob? Does that make or break anything for you? Is it a deal breaker or anything?
It's a step in the right direction. I'll put it to you, because the PS3 in older is starting to be like harder to get, but we're getting games onto the PlayStation Network, right?
Yeah.
It is slowly coming too. PS4 games and like you can play all the PS4 onto PS5 with the exception of a couple of games, which always happens every generation. I digress. The point is you can do that. But now I have an entire slew of PS4 games and PS5 games that potentially can't be used on a PlayStation 6 because I bought them physically and I didn't buy them digitally. That's a step in the right direction. But we hold on, son. We still got some more negotiation to do at the table.
No, I agree with you, because that's kind of the reason I posited the question at all. Is I was trying to think again, if this is the hellscape future that we have to live in, and I kind of want to. I would like to offer solutions. And I mean, because when I come on the show, I mean, I talked about it a little earlier with the state of the draft. That like, yes, I mean, I do like to tell the stories, and I'd like to have these conversations with you guys. But when I'm negative, I try to add some humor into it, because I don't want it to just be like, God, that guy's unpleasant to listen to or be around. I mean, I've tried to live that way.
Everyone loves you, Caleb.
But it was very hard for me to not just be so upset. I'm beyond upset about this news. I just think it's terrible.
It hit home. That's why. It really hit home so much.
It hit home for anything. Like if Nintendo said the same thing, I would be like, what the fuck? But the fact that it's Sony is almost just like an extra little nudge of bleeding out. You've already cut your arm off, but now you're just removing my tourniquet. Like, what the fuck, Sony? So with this, I was trying to think what would make me a little more accepting of this potential future that we all knew was kind of looming, kind of coming. I mean, it's the thing that we knew was going there. And I do think it would go a long way if they let me take my entire old library, put it on their system as a show of goodwill and faith. I honestly think that's all it would be, because how often realistically do we play our classic games? Not that often. I mean, we might wait for them to be remade or remastered, but I love the OG Final Fantasy VII. That's one of the only games that I could play for the rest of my life and never be mad about it. And that's not just because I'm an FF simp. It's because I genuinely just love the game. I would go back to the original Mega Man games, but if somebody said, hey man, do you want to play Guys on the PS1? I'd be like, no. That game now that game fucking sucks. I have fond memories of it, but I'm not going to play it again. I mean, if you remade it though, yeah, I'd be interested in at least checking it out. So if they let me take these old games and put them on my system so I can keep them with me, and say, if we re-release them via emulation, you've got it. You've already given us some money in the past. Here you go. I think that's like the bare minimum of goodwill to make me more inclined to moving forward with them. But I don't see it as a realistic thing. I think Sony is a little too greedy for that. And I say this as a genuine Sony fan. But I was interested in hearing both of your perspectives, because you guys have been gaming pretty much as long as I have, if not longer. I mean, I think, no offense, Matt, you've been playing very long. I think Bob and I have you beat by like a year. It's real close. But I do think that, I started when I was 3 years old, and I'm 41 now. So yeah, Bob, you said it earlier, 38 years. That's crazy. But we've been playing longer than your average gamers, and we still do. We still love the good, bad, and ugly. What I would be interested, I'm actually kind of upset that Alex wasn't on this episode as a PC gamer, because he's an adopter of the PS5. We all talked him into it. I hope he doesn't feel burnt by this news today. I feel for him. I really do. I thought of him earlier, and I was like, fuck. But on that note, we've talked about this quite a bit. I know the episode is long, so I'm going to kick it back to you, Matt. If you think there's anything else we want to talk about, or if you want to wrap it up, that's entirely up to you.
Yeah, no, it's been a great podcast. We've had a good conversation. I think it is time to wrap it up. Let's not hit. Yeah. So this is a step in the wrong direction, in our opinion. I mean, I'm not anti-digital. I just don't like the anti-consumership stuff. And I'm just a big fan of physical media. So yeah, the PS6 question was awesome. And what do you guys think, our listeners? What are you upset about this as much as we are? Tell us in the Discord. Let us know how you feel. But other than that, thanks so much for listening. Thanks, Caleb, for being on the cast. We appreciate it. Thanks for the state of the draft. We'll see you at the next State of the Draft for the beginning of the next month. We appreciate everyone. So have a great rest of your evening, morning, night, whatever time the hell it is.
Later.
Goodbye.
Shapes of Gaming is a podcast shaped around gaming and, most importantly, our community. That's you. It is written, created, and recorded in beautiful Colorado Springs, Colorado by me, Matt Stenson, and my good friend Bob Harriman. If you would like to be part of this amazing community, be sure to like, subscribe, or follow us on all the social media platforms or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks so much for listening, and always remember, keep the conversation going, and most importantly, keep gaming.